fucking voice cracks. It's the complete opposite.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Words from the Nerds podcast. We are back once again for another weekly episode, bringing you all of the fun, nerdy media and news, TV shows, movies, whatever is coming out that we are talking about. As always, if you leave a comment down below on the YouTube video, we will read it on next week's episode. Next week, it'll be Mr. Aiden who will be hosting. So if you have anything to say specifically to him, leave it down below. For last week's episode, we have 4 comments to go over. First one from Mimish says, hashtag best podcast ever, hashtag I was asleep. Mimish wanted to be on to talk about Backrooms, but your brother in the UK is not in the right time zone for that. So he had already dozed off, unfortunately. But thank you, Mimish, as always. We will have you on soon. There's some more horror stuff coming out later this year that I know he's more of a horror guy than any of us. So I feel like we gotta get him on here for that. And then he also says, you guys need to watch From, 4 seasons in. And yeah, I forgot you guys have never, ever talked about it. He must be watching here.
I don't want you to talk shit on Euphoria and then tell me to watch some dumbass shit. Like From, bro.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen From?
Wow.
No, my sister's a big fan.
Yeah, then pipe down, Curly. Damn. Let my boy live.
Things about From. Unless I'm thinking of it. So
I have to.
I mean, at first it was Doctor Who, and now you're telling me to watch this shit. Like, well, you're not going anywhere with me right now, pal.
I have heard that it's a little corny. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've heard mixed things. I've heard great, and I've heard not good.
I've heard people really like it, but I don't know anything else about it. I don't like. Is the genre comparable to like a Euphoria?
I don't think so. I was just chatting shit.
Okay,
chatting shit, mate.
Just chatting shit.
Chatting shit, mate.
Then we got a couple comments from
the Euphoria ending was actually really good, by the way. Okay, Mimish.
Get that cornball.
It was actually really good.
Here, get up out of here.
It was actually really good. Zendaya's dead.
We got spoilers. I was like gonna catch up and watch.
No, you weren't.
Is there any other show that you can think of off the cuff right now that I need to catch up on and watch? Any show?
Game of Thrones.
Okay, I teed you up for 2
catch up on
good options, and you didn't say either.
Attack on Titan.
But Euphoria isn't a catch up on either because that was the series finale. So like,
more so just like something that I just need.
Wait,
to
you
watch.
teed me up for what? I'm sorry. What did you try to team me up? Attack on Titan?
It could have been Attack on Titan, X-Men '97.
Oh, I mean that's
Better Call Saul. Like there's some,
buddy. You actually have like three weeks for like, X-Men '97. So like, you should just know that. That should just be baked in.
Let's go,
dude. Okay, yeah, for sure. We got a couple of comments from Brandon. The first one, we talked last week a little bit about the PlayStation State of Play with the new Wolverine game. Brandon says, Charlie, I believe with Wolverine, you can pay an additional $10 after you install the game to get the digital deluxe upgrade to unlock all that stuff for your physical edition. I believe Spider-Man 2 lets you do the same thing because I think I paid the $10 to unlock whatever the suits were, even though I bought it physically.
Whoa, hold on. Wolverine digital deluxe upgrade.
Damn, Brandon just mogged Charlie live on this show. That's insane.
I mean,
oh yes, you can, bro. That's hot. That is actually that's such a life. At one point,
you said you were gonna buy the digital and the physical.
I did. I fully meant it too. I fully meant it.
Well, there you go.
That's actually so fire.
And then lastly, from Brandon says, on the topic of backrooms, Kane's backroom floor is different than what the internet has for the lore. I assume he means Kane's backroom lore is different than what the internet has for the lore. I think all the questions Charlie wants answers to are in the YouTube series, since this movie is canon to that series.
I just wanted good characters.
You know, I just got back from watching it a second time with my coworkers. None of the 3 of them really liked the movie.
Really?
Which I thought was interesting. Yeah. I mean, that's like as general audience as it gets is them 3. They were really excited going into it, leaving. They were just like, that's fine. I feel like I wanted more. Like I just, you know, it was good, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about the character's take. Like, I do feel like there's not an arc. There's not enough room for an arc. It feels like sometimes. Like, I do think if the movie was longer, I still stand by like that would have benefited the characters a lot. But it doesn't really bother me. Like, I don't know. I don't really understand that take. Like that. I get that they can be a little bit bland, but I mean.
I think what Ben said and after his second watch was very poignant. Sure, but I just don't think it was portrayed well at all in the actual film. And what I'm referring to is Clark's character searching for redemption, searching for like what is wrong with him. I don't think that was a theme for him because if anything, it's just the movie's about him giving up. And then like at the very end when he locks down Mary and he's trying to like really get down to the root of it. Like there's the beginning part where they have that same conversation almost in her office, and then there's the end part in the back rooms. And I just don't. There's nothing else that speaks to him searching for redemption throughout that movie.
But do you think
wallowing in his self-pity?
Do you think if the movie were longer, to allot time to focus on that for the character of Clark? Like, I don't know. Do you think that could have helped it?
I do, but I also think that the movie had enough time as it is to do at least more than they did with it. I think that like because even just as basic as just show like I guess there was the shot of I think he drives up to his house that I assume it was his house that his wife kicked him out of. But like that doesn't really show. That just shows that he's longing for that back. Like he just wants that life back, I guess. But that doesn't really speak to his idea of what's wrong with me. I need to figure out what's wrong with me. And also, I don't see how exploring the back rooms inherently is a solution to that until he finds out about the pirate, the pirate entity being him. Then I can see how he might connect those dots. But he didn't know that the entity looked like him at all up to that point. So like, I think him just, it's like the movie takes a break from his plot line to explore the back rooms, and then it comes back to it afterwards. And so I don't know.
I agree with what you're saying. I think the movie had time for it and instead relied on the viewer to like look at the themes and the setting and connect the dots themselves rather than like doing a better job of actually portraying it, which is like why like what I said, like you agreed with my explanation of it, but the movie didn't show it as much as it needed to.
Yeah.
So I rewatched it last Thursday, so a few days ago, and the three people that I went with, they liked it more than I did.
Oh, really?
So
wow.
Yeah, kind of opposite end of the spectrum. They really enjoyed it. So yeah. And I did like it a little bit better second time around, knowing what to expect. So yeah. But I have not, I mean, I knew about the back rooms and like in general what the lore was, but I haven't like done a deep dive or watched a bunch of the videos. I was watching it with somebody who had seen and like looked into the whole web series before watching it, and specifically watched Kane's web series. So like, I know some people went into this movie and are talking about some of the lore being like different than what they think the lore should be, just like the entities and still lifes and whatever. Like it's not quite what some people would want from a Backrooms movie, but for somebody who actually like was interested in his specific lore, they really liked it based on that. So
well, and I also think I was talking to Brandon, and I won't be too long on this. I was talking to Brandon, and I feel like the internet and how much lore is with people's different interpretations of the Backrooms kind of hurt this movie as well. Kind of hurt the word of mouth for this movie as well, because I've seen so many takes of this isn't what I expected. They should have done this. They should have explored this aspect of it. And when you really boil it down, as somebody who just watched Kane stuff, knows the liminal spaces, nostalgic horror that goes on TikTok, but watched Kane stuff and then watched the movie, I didn't have that sentiment of, oh, it should have been this, it should have been this. But I could see all these different interpretations and all these different lore videos. kind of spoiling some people's thoughts on the movie after they got out. So I just think it's so big that you run into that problem, which is crazy.
Yeah. For today's episode, we are going to be going over some hot takes from each of us. We are not going to touch on any of the drafts that we have going on. We're not going to talk about Rotten Tomatoes or the box office draft. We'll have updates for that probably next week because we have Disclosure Day, which not only has box office implications.
We could talk about the bomb pick that hit us.
We could, yeah. We have Disclosure Day, which is not only in the Rotten Tomatoes draft for me, but also is in the box office draft for Brandon.
I feel I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I feel like we could talk about the Masters of the Universe bomb next week though, and all that stuff comes out. Oh, holy shit, Ben! I think something's. Oh, all right, folks, we have a breaking news segment here. I am going to toss it to Ben here in the studio. Ben, I hear you have word of what's going on right now.
Thanks, Aiden. We're still waiting on further details, but on the back alley streets of Shikari, Grogu is confirmed to be dead, shot dead, and beheaded. Ludwig Göransson was performing a concert. We're not sure the exact details. We'll let you know as soon as we have a further update. Back to you.
Thank you, Ben. All right, folks, back to our regularly scheduled program. Holy, yeah. Let's talk about that bomb right there. So there you go, Charlie. We planned something else for you this week.
I told Aiden, I was just like, I have another set thing. Should we do something with Charlie? Because like I was really mad. And then
holy,
he just started bleeding.
Dude, Charlie just immediately started clapping and smiling like a giddy little boy. Holy. Oh man, that's funny. Well, since we have like kind of a more chill episode, Ben, I don't know if you kind of had a strict agenda you wanted to follow, but I'd like to talk about how I'm liking Spidernoir right now.
Yeah, definitely. We should do that, and we should watch the Bear trailer because I haven't seen it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So. I started Spidernoir and I am loving it so much right now. I'm 3 episodes in. It's been a lot of fun. It was easy for me to buy into how things were going to kind of shake down. I think it's moving at a tremendous pace right now. Like we're 3 episodes in, and Silvermane captured Ben Reilly and Cat Hardy, and I'm like, man, this freaking the end of this episode is going all over the place. And then Ben Reilly's like, check your pocket, scrub, and it's like, oh, I have marked bills. He gets killed. I'm just like, dude, this is fire. I'm loving this. Yeah. So I'm watching the first 3 episodes in black and white to kind of get a feel for the show, and I'm going by. I saw somebody kind of mention this on TikTok, so I was like, this would be cool to follow. I'm watching the first 3 episodes in black and white to get a feel for the show, get immersed in this universe. I'm watching episodes 4 and 5 in color because apparently there's a lot of cool things they do with color in those episodes, and apparently it's supposed to be pretty cool in color. Episode 6 will be back in black and white, which I have gotten spoiled that I think this is his origin story, or kind of touches more on the character of Ben Reilly in episode 6. And then episode 7 and 8 is left up to me. So I'm going to kind of get a grasp through these first 6 episodes what I'm liking. And then episode 7 and 8, I'm going to choose color or black and white for the last 2. But I'm curious what y'all, because I didn't listen to y'all's episode or y'all's segment, but what did y'all watch it in? Did y'all end up doing the color, or what did we?
I was going to.
Why don't you just go back and listen to our conversation last week, buddy?
Yo, actually participate today. So.
Yeah, I got you, Aiden. I'll let you know. I was gonna go every other episode, and I started watching episode 1 in color, but there was a moment within like the first 20 or 30 minutes, around the halfway mark of the episode, that it became very clear to me that it was specifically lit so that it could be color corrected to black and white. Not that the color looks bad, not at all. Yeah. But it was just very clear how intentional they were. So I switched to black and white, and then I basically stayed on black and white the rest of the time, other than a couple of specific moments within specific episodes, because like a character shows up and I'm like, I want to know how this character looks in color. How did they fit the aesthetic? Because I feel like the black and white aesthetic of this time period and whatnot works really, really well. And so I didn't know how like the color would change my perception of that. So I switched for specific things, but otherwise I watched the whole thing basically in black and white.
Charlie.
I'm a color man. I'm a colorful man, so I watched it in color.
We know that.
Hey,
you gotta say that twice.
Shout out Kobe.
On top of you, right?
Yeah, I watched it in color, man. I watched every episode in color except for I think it was episode 5 that I watched in black and white just to try it, and I think that was the right decision. Just because I said this last week, like the things they do with color in this show specifically is probably some of the best things we'll see any comic book project do with color in a long time, apart from like Superman, like James Gunn's universe and everything like that.
Interesting.
Like a lot of this stuff is very intentional. It's very, they still keep that noir setting and feeling very well with the color, and it also just makes New York very vibrant and nightly. Even in the nighttime scenes, like you can see the neon glow of some signs in the back. Way off in the distance, the night sky also just has like this color to it, this great tinge to it. It's great stuff, man. But that being said, I don't think black and white is terrible by any means. I just think that a lot of that is lost with it, and I think that that's unfortunate, and I think that this show deserves to be enjoyed to its full potential.
Yeah.
And honestly, coming from 2 IMAX glazers, it's crazy to me that you guys are so gung-ho on black and white.
Well, I mean, we're just so spoiled. It's like,
Dude,
I don't have to leech on to like, oh, color. I can watch this in black and white and be like, cool,
hey, you know, for the
Odyssey,
Odyssey, by the way, not that it matters because you guys are seeing it in 70 millimeters, so it really doesn't matter what I'm saying. But everybody seems to agree that Dolby's the way to see this movie. If it's regular IMAX versus Dolby, go to Dolby. Yeah.
I would have told you that. I think I did tell you that.
I think Ben did. Yeah, I think he did.
No,
you
didn't say that. You didn't. You just said, Ben. All you said was that I'm not going to see a difference between 1.85 and 1.90.
I remember. I think I remember him saying I would have told.
Let's pull it up.
But specifically,
it's fine. We can do this shit later.
A lower reviewed, like mid-reviewed IMAX screen versus a high-end Dolby screen. Obviously, I'm going to tell you to see it in Dolby.
Oh, sure. The particular theaters I was talking about, sure. But I mean, in general, people are saying an IMAX 1.90 aspect screen versus a 1.85 Dolby screen. They're saying, like, the Dolby one is the way to go.
I think it just depends on the screen.
Amen. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. But again, not that it matters for you guys because you're seeing it in 70 millimeters, so it doesn't matter. But
yeah.
Calling us IMAX glazers is interesting because, like, if you had an IMAX, you'd probably be an IMAX glazer. You just don't have the choice.
I don't think so.
You're just not a part of the club.
It's jealousy. Okay. It's jealousy.
I don't think so.
I'm liking Spidernoir. I think Spidernoir has been a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's amazing. Very easy to buy into this. Easily going to be like second. I think right now it's like on pace for like second best superhero show this year, behind Invincible.
Whoa. Better than Wonder Man and Daredevil?
I forgot Wonder Man came out this year. Third. I will say over Daredevil right now. I think I'm enjoying this right now.
Okay,
more than
because we did talk about.
I haven't been keeping up with my show rankings this year.
I've been keeping up with mine.
I've been pretty bad with it. We'll have to go over that
because
later.
My top 4 right now are all comic book shows. Now I've only seen like 7 seasons, but the top 4 are all comic book shows. The only outlier is The Boys right now as like the superhero dud of this grief.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's why I say that with noir, because I feel like this has so much freedom. You can do whatever. Like they've already thrown in Tombstone, Sandman, Molten Man. They've already thrown all these characters in the first 3 episodes, and now Silvermane, excuse me, good grief. And then everything that happened at the end of episode 3. I'm like, dude, not only are you telling such a compelling story, this show is written so well. Like the dialogue and the back and forth that we get through all these characters is so awesome. And Nicolas Cage is knocking it out of the freaking park. Oh my God. So, combining all of that, Charlie.
Whoa.
Get out of here.
Charlie,
Get out of here.
What was that?
Get out of here. Oh my God.
He thought it was too Nick Cagey.
He can shove that Nick Cagey opinion up his fucking ass, man. That shit is great. What are you talking about? Bro, no.
I take back everything I said. Aiden is the biggest fucking glazer on this podcast for anything and everything, bro. Anything Aiden's watched in that moment in time is the best fucking...
He gets to call his shot. Now he wants to be all willy-nilly with his takes. Come on, man. Yeah, cool. You called your shot with this show. Get on, like, bro. It doesn't give you free reign to shit on Nick Cage's performance.
We wrote you a letter. Like, just calm down.
Yeah, come pipe down, man.
What
please.
The fuck? Hold on, because you guys wrote me a letter. I gotta shut up and sit in the corner.
Yeah,
no.
Yes,
actually,
please.
Fucking stupid.
I think Nick Cage is his performance is great, but the dialogue, the characters, they have so much more freedom. Whereas a Daredevil, you're tied down to a lot. I can't see Daredevil interact with Spider-Man or pull like some Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Why enjoy Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man so much? I miss out on those interactions. So to get them all here, but to get them all in this show.
You've never seen it. Shut up.
Actually, I've watched the first couple seasons. All right, a long time ago. So
there's only 2 seasons.
We've had this conversation. Then I think I watched like the first season. I watched something. Anyways, the freedom that this show has and the creativity that it's been exploring, I just see a difference in quality when it comes to that in terms of Noir and Daredevil. So because of that, I can see it being on pace to lap Daredevil, but I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it a lot. I didn't want to go this long, but I wanted to get that out there because I would have had way more to talk about by the time I finish it.
So what the hell do they mean by authentic black and white? Because are they not just taking their colored shit and hitting the monochrome filter?
I highly doubt it. It has to be way more intricate.
As somebody who actually watched it in black and white, it's more than that.
I watched an episode in black and white.
Well, and as IMAX watchers, so we've seen media that can exceed just shitty movie theater screen.
I've seen it.
70 millimeter enjoyers.
Future 70 millimeter watchers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wait till I get to Beyond the Spider-Verse in 1.43. All right. Shut up.
You're not going to be able to.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. It's a 5-hour drive, buddy. Yeah, it's a 5-hour drive. That's nothing.
I think I'm driving 6 hours for.
You know what? Wait till it gets delayed another 2 years, and then you're not going to get a 70 millimeter. You're going to get a 35 millimeter. If you know what I mean.
It doesn't. Beyond is not going to be in 70 millimeter. It's just 1.4. It's the aspect ratio, buddy.
You know what I'm saying.
Yo, Charlie, pipe down talking to my boy like that. Jeez, man.
All right.
Let's kick this baby off. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this trailer,
Charlie has seen this. Aiden and I have not seen this. Did this come out literally today?
Yeah, it did. I watched it on my lunch. Oh man, it's so good.
The Bear season 5 trailer reaction.
The final season.
You good? Just take a breath. Listen to the pan.
Also, pause. I just want to say, pay very much attention to the blocking, the camera, just the quality of the camera shot. I think maybe I'm crazy. This looks like a major upgrade.
Draft it.
This looks like a major upgrade from.
Yeah, I would 1,000% draft. I would 1,000% draft this. My season's already over. I would be drafting.
What? You're lying through your teeth, bro.
If I had one more spot, I would 100% draft this. I'm in a bad position right now, so I'd be like, dude, I drafted it last year.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. And you would draft it again after that? That's crazy.
100%. Dude, just to have it on my list, bro. Yes, 1,000%. Can you restart this, man?
Oh my gosh! But anyway, just pay attention to the camera shots. These am I crazy? These look like an upgrade. I know you guys haven't seen it all yet, but just pay attention.
It's our last day. We're out of time.
I'm not giving up. We're going to keep operating. Richard, I am selling the building. Only love make it rain.
It's bad. The restaurant is flooded. Deliveries cut us off. We're going to run out of food.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop. It's not sucking!
Or not.
Only love. We are outgunned and we are outmanned. Can bring the rain. We got no money. That falls like tea. But we have each other and nothing left to lose.
You ready?
Every second counts, baby.
Next course, fire. I spent so much time running from this place. It turned out to be the best spot for me. You did this.
Is this a Sunrise on the Reaping song? I don't think so.
Each other's backs.
Okay.
Every night.
I look at you all, and I love you so much.
This is how we keep this place alive. This is the bear.
Bro, the sound wasn't hitting as well as when you're just watching natively, of course. But like, oh my gosh.
That was a really good trailer. I think last season's trailer was better, but that was a really good trailer.
What are we thinking? How do they end this? Do we think that like
I'm surprised that Carmi's it looks like Carmi's just back in the swing of things. Like
it looks like Richie's fine.
Yeah.
Do we think they're going to go out of business and then like it's gonna end with like a nice last service kind of thing, and then they all disband? What do we think?
That's what it because part of my thought process watching that trailer was, could this end with just the restaurant fails and that's it, and that's just the side, because they've talked about like countless restaurants fail, like what's been making this one stand out and what's been making this one different from everyone, and if it just turns out like nothing, it just also failed. Like that's a brutal ending. It's a fitting ending for this show because this show is good with like ending on some like crazy cliffhangers and whatnot. But that is a very real possibility that it looks like that trailer is trying to hint at. It's kind of funny. It was just straight up deliveries cut us off. We have no money. I'm selling the building. We're running out of food. It's like, okay, bro, come on, holy fuck. Yeah. What are we doing? Jeez Louise. I feel like that's a very possible ending. It's just the restaurant going out of business.
Yeah, I agree. I think but like I could also see an ending where like they persevere and Carmi gets to live out the dream of owning a successful restaurant and not being so mentally crippled. But truthfully, either way, man, either way.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
It looks good. It looks stressful. Always does.
Yeah. That was a really good trailer. I'm not like completely blown away by it, but it's a good trailer.
All right.
Yes, the wheel.
We're gonna get into some hot takes.
What the hell? I know you can make four.
This is
new feature. You can add wheels. So we're gonna spin.
Wow.
We're gonna spin wheel number 4 to determine which wheel we actually spin.
What the fuck?
Hot takes. Oh, there's no sound playing. That's a little tragic. Looks like wheel 2 is gonna be the winner.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
You're just. I thought it was spinning. I was like, oh shit! It's about to be me.
You can spin all wheels at the same time. So I feel like at some point,
what the fuck is the point of this, man?
I'm just trying it out. What's this beta? You know what? Whatever, man.
No,
right,
I mean, sure, man. I
who's
like
going
you're trying
first.
something different.
No, Charlie's a fucking party pooper. Holy shit, yo,
Bro, I literally said okay. I said it was okay.
The conversation with Kobe, just what's going through your head, man?
Shut
Do you
the
not
fuck
want
And Aiden will go second, and I'll go third, and then we'll just go through again. Charlie,
All right.
Aiden, myself. Dude, we're just having a good time. We're just kicking.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
You said what was the point? Sorry,
Just-
said,
The three
what was
wheels
the
were
point
the
of
exact
anything?
same, bro.
It's the exact same, bro.
Oh my god.
Get your
Yo,
sick ass
he
outta here.
doesn't want Kobe living in the same apartment.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, he hates that guy.
Oh my god.
Shout out Kobe.
Hot take.
The most well
Lay
prepared
it
of
on
the three of
us.
us, by the way.
Lay it on us, baby. You got the spotlight.
What can I say? That's a hot take.
The guy who never prepares for drafts, by the way, just rips it from the heart.
Yeah, and I'm beating you. So what's that say?
He's silent.
Batman is a B tier character. Batman is a B tier character, brother.
Can we give him
With-
like a
With an A tier
rating
rogues
of our-
gallery. S tier
B-tier
rogues
character
gallery.
with an S tier rogues gallery?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't.
I think he's carried by the Bat family.
Whoa.
Okay, we're getting a little deeper here with that. The Bat family meaning who specifically?
Almost any iteration. I'd maybe leave out Damien because I don't give a shit about Damien. But be it Jason, Dick, my personal favorite. I can't remember his name. It's something Drake. Isn't it something Drake, bro? Tim Drake, thank you. It's something Drake.
My personal favorite.
Nathan Drake.
No, see that's where my head actually went. It was Nathan Drake. I'm like, that's not Robin. But yeah, my personal favorite, Tim Drake. I mean, yeah, all of Batgirl as well. Batwoman.
I don't really have an opinion on that. Like, I don't necessarily disagree because I've never been the biggest Batman guy. Like, I love
the Batman
movies.
Glazer over here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I love Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Okay.
But like, not enough to really care about having Batman shit pasted up on my walls. And like, he's a great character. Like, going to bat for him or going to bat for any comic iteration of him, never really cared about Batman a whole lot. So
yeah, I think
You guys know
Superman
that-
Mogs. I think the Flash Mogs.
You guys know that meme from Obsession
Lantern
that's
Mogs.
like every Wednesday I
Mogs.
wake up rock hard thinking about trivia. Currently my life is every day I wake up rock hard waiting on news from the Batman 2. That's where I'm currently at. So
that's fair. I love the Batman movie. I love Robert Pattinson's Batman, and I love his movies, and I think they're phenomenal. Like, I can't really, like, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on like Batman's a B. I think, in my opinion, he is a B tier character. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I do. I
mean,
agree about his rogues gallery though, because he might have the best rogues gallery.
Yeah,
it's probably better than
between him or
Spider-Man's.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. It probably, because I mean, there's a lot of just like whatever. I mean, there's freaking Condiment King and Calendar Man. Like, it's
Sure.
there's
Same with Spider-Man, Tarantula.
Right. But then obviously,
the
like,
Leaper.
at
No,
its
actually, the Leaper
peak,
isn't it?
it's like he has
the Leaper.
He has some great villains. So I agree that his
Big Wheel
I don't
Man
know.
or something. Big Wheel. I don't think it's Big Wheel Man. It's just Big Wheel.
I think he's carried more by his rogues gallery than he is by the Bat family.
I don't know if I agree with like the Bat, because I really don't give a fuck about anybody in the Bat family other than Batman. Like,
That's why they're making a Nightwing and Jason Todd movie, and that's why they're making a Teen Titans movie, and that's why they're.
What's your point with that? That That
the Bat Family is so popular. They not only lead other teams, but they're also getting their own fucking projects and movies. And
in what world is that going to be bigger than fucking the Batman Part 2? Like what's your?
I'm not saying it's going to be. I'm not saying it's going to be bigger. But I'm just saying
he's carried by.
I'm just saying that I'm saying that people care about them as much. I guess I can't say more. As much as they care about Batman.
I don't know. That's. I mean, fair. I'm not a part of a lot of.
Not
DC
a good video game. There's an entire video game where you play as just the Bat Family. You don't even play as Batman. It's not a good video game, but
that's the thing. When you're saying that, like, here's why the Bat Family's popular. It's like I don't give a fuck about the Bat Family. I only care about Batman. Like, and I'm sure there are some
I just
people
feel
like the Bat
you
Family,
don't even
but
really
do they
care about
outweigh?
Batman. I feel like you don't even really care about Batman. You just said that you only care about the Batman movies.
Well, that's fair. That's fair, but I don't care about the Bat Family even less than I don't care about Batman. So it's like, is he being like, when I think of Batman, sure, I think of his rogues gallery, or I think of the Batman himself or his parents or Alfred, whatever, something to do with Batman. I never think about the Bat Family. I do not care about the Bat Family. And that's just me. I know other people differ, but and I don't know. The Bat Family's popular, but to say that Batman is led by them, or hey, look at all these movies because they're so popular. Cool. Yeah. What are those movies going to bring in? Are those movies going to get conversation other than just people that are in our bubble and our circles? Like, Batman mogs them when it comes to like box office or popularity. I mean, obviously. So
sure. I mean, Batman's the top 3 in terms of popularity. Absolutely.
100%. So
I'm not disputing that. I think that there's a certain point where Batman's characterization hits a halt. And
that's fair. Yeah.
Is then carried out by someone in the Bat Family pretending to be Batman, like Dick has done before, or for example, just the stories written around the Bat Family are arguably deeper than whatever is baseline for Batman. Because I mean, Batman's been around long enough that you can write. There's been multiple stories written around Batman and multiple different branches from his origins. I couldn't think of the word, but I think that something like, and I'm not even a champion for Jason Todd like that, but I think that Jason Todd, everything that's surrounding Jason Todd and everything that happened with him getting beaten to death and then tortured
spoiler
by Joker, depending on whatever, because I don't even think that's always the case. I think sometimes he gets brought back to life with the I forget what it's called, but Ra's al Ghul has it, the pool of water that brings you back to life. I don't fucking remember what it's called. I think sometimes he gets brought back to life with that, yada yada yada. But even like something like Dick being a someone who Batman viewed as like himself at one point because Dick's parents died, and so he takes him in as the first ever Robin, and then Dick outgrows Batman and thinks he's a piece of shit, thinks he's an asshole, so then he becomes his own hero. Like that's fucking awesome. Like that's fucking sick. So I don't know.
I don't hate the take. I like it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Like, there's not like Batman's character development and like what you can do with Batman kind of comes to a halt. I mean, it's like I feel like it's the same with Luffy. It's the same with Superman to an extent. Just kind of like it's not so much about Batman, Luffy, Superman. It's about the people around him and how they respond to that, and you know how you get to see their character in those moments. I'd agree with that. I mean, that's why I immediately was like, I don't hate that take.
And I do want to say, I do think Batman has been misunderstood for a long time as well, though. But I do think we're headed in the right direction of him being more appropriately and accurately understood with the Batman films. The way the arc that he goes on already in that film as wanting to be a symbol of fear, and then deciding to be more of a symbol of hope and fear for those who would choose to do wrong at the same time, I think is very well done. So
yeah, because like if you would have asked me pre the Batman what the best Batman movie is, I think a lot of people would have said it's The Dark Knight, or some people really like couple of the animated ones. But for a live action movie, it's probably The Dark Knight. But the reason The Dark Knight is so good is because of Joker. And so now, like, with the Batman coming out, nobody's going to say that the Batman is good because of the Riddler. It's not comparable. Yeah. So I think that just goes to show that they are leaning in the right direction.
Good take. I do think the Riddler is like he's a decent part of why it's good though. Not to but
it's not as much of a driving force in comparison
than the Joker.
Heath
Absolutely.
Ledger's Joker, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Now it's Barry Keoghan's Joker.
All right. Give your take.
It's you.
You're gonna PMO. Oh, it's me? I was second. I thought you were second. Oh
no, you were you were second.
All right. I also kind of came a little unprepared. So good grief.
You said you were ready though.
I mean, I was ready, but like I like mine were just last minute is what I meant to say. My takes were a little bit last minute. So I'm gonna fly off a little bit off the cuff with them because I didn't put a lot of thought into them, but I know I stand by them. And that's because my first hot take is that Spider-Man Brand New Day will be the second highest grossing movie of the year.
Okay.
I'm standing on that. This is more so calling my shot. It's a hot take. I think Spider-Man Brand New Day will be the second highest grossing movie of the year. I think Doomsday hits it and Spider-Man is close. Gross.
All right.
Gross for sure.
See, I thought we got a nice break from all this box office talk. Are we really about to have to discuss this shit? Like,
I mean, we don't have to talk about our draft, but I think I'm like just not even because it's on my board. I think Spider-Man will have.
All right, I have 3 words that I would like to say.
Toy Story 5.
Story 5.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm not flinching. I don't care. I'm standing ground. I'm standing my 10 toes down. I'm standing here. That Spider-Man Brand New Day will be the second highest grossing movie of the year.
Yeah.
I'm not flinching. I'm not flinching.
I mean, I can appreciate your unflinching, your unwavering confidence in it, but I don't think that just because of Toy Story 5.
I think it has it, and I think it beats Toy Story 5 by a little bit. I think this movie creeps up close to 1.8, 1.9. I think Toy Story 5 will be a little bit below it.
Here's a question. Do you think that Toy Story 5 will make more than Zootopia 2?
No. Like domestically or total? Because what? Total it made 1.9, 1.85?
Just 1.85.
Yeah, no, I don't think it makes more than Zootopia.
I think that's wild.
I don't think it makes more than Zootopia too.
I think that's wild to say. There's
Bro, I'll stand on that.
Going in
I think Toy Story 5, like I was thinking about this today. I've been thinking about it for the past couple of days as we've been talking box office, whatnot. I want to be firm. I want to stand firm that Spider-Man and what they're cooking up with Spider-Man and word of mouth. And as we get closer to the marketing for this movie, especially when that second trailer comes out, I think Spider-Man will be 1.7, 1.8. I think Toy Story 5 will be 1.5, 1.6. Like my floor for Spider-Man is, what did I say? 1.6, 1.5. And my ceiling was 1.8. I still hold firm on that. I think Toy Story 5 will be a little bit below that. I think Toy Story 5 will be a little bit below Spider-Man.
I just don't see it. I'm sorry.
It's a great
Toy
family
Story's
movie.
Tracking is
that's fine, bro. I'm not flinching, and I know shit's gonna come out. I know, lists are gonna be popping off.
Saying
projections.
Not
I'm not flinching. I'm sitting
just
down.
At you like you're delusional, my boy. Like you could be not flinching,
that's
but
fine.
Somebody's waving a gun in your face and you're not flinching. Congrats,
exactly.
my boy.
I'm not flinching at Toy Story 5 staring down the barrel. Like, I'm not flinching. Spider-Man will gross more than Toy Story 5. Like, I think we're on the highest high that we've ever been in terms of Spider-Man movies in the past. Now, not gearing up towards No Way Home. I know No Way Home. But, like, post No Way Home, like, I think No Way Home did so much for where we're at right now, especially for the character of Peter Parker. And especially as we get closer with marketing, the second trailer, TV spots, and all that. Once people start to see Hulks in there, once they start to show what the actual premise of the movie is, and if this thing is good, which I think it's going to be fantastic, people are going to want to go out and see it. It's a universal. We've seen the numbers before. It's a universal character. I'm not flinching, and I'll keep fucking saying it, Curly. I'm not flinching,
Toy Story-
staring down the barrel of Toy Story 5.
Dude,
Family
Toy
movie,
Story-
great. No, look,
You
family
think
movie,
it's not?
great.
They're
Yeah,
not
you got
universal characters. You think they're not universal characters?
not as big as Spider-Man. No,
I don't. Okay, well, I'm not gonna push back on that. I think Spider-Man is a bigger character. Yes,
that's
I think
fine. Yeah, I mean,
more.
they're
you're gonna
universal
see
characters,
more
but
people.
Spider-Man's
You,
more
you
poppin',
say
like-
Spider-Man, more people are gonna know who Spider-Man is than if you just say who the fuck is Woody. Like who's Woody,
100%.
you know?
What?
But
are you actually
no,
dumb? Oh, I was like,
I'm saying
you,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
had me going crazy. Yeah,
That's what I'm
going
saying.
Crazy.
But also, I think like a universal character, like all the Toy Story characters are like they're universal, like, and not universal of property, but they're universal as like they can be enjoyed by children and
Because people are
and-
going to be confused by that.
and
Well, here's the thing. Like, yes, families are going to go out and see Toy Story 5. Families are also going to go see Spider-Man. But it's like when you have folks like us or like my coworkers, your coworkers, people that are like, oh, yeah, that new Spider-Man movie, dudes in their 20s, dudes in their 30s, 40s. What? Like, there's so much more of an audience there. And like, yes, you go see Toy Story, it's not just going to be one ticket most of the time. It's going to be about 4 or 5 of them.
How much did Zootopia make, Benjamin? Can you tell me?
Second one or
Zootopia 2.
1.86.
Okay. So say
And you think
1.85.
that's where Spider-Man's line is 1.8? 1.7, 1.8?
Where its ceiling is, yes.
So let me get this straight. The same guy who just said Spider-Man is going to make 1.8 said that Doomsday is going to make similar to Age of Ultron, which is like 1.4.
Wait, what? When did I say that?
He did just say Spider-Man is going to be the second highest. He thinks Avengers is going to be the highest.
You said this earlier
Yes.
on this year. Maybe you've
I said that it
changed
would
since
play
then.
out like Age of Ultron, and no, and that's fine. Like I have changed. I mean, obviously, because year goes on, projections come out. I have changed some of my thoughts with that. I do still think No Way or Brand New Day and Doomsday will be close. But I do think Doomsday will be
crazy. That's
will be the cream of the
I'm
crop.
sorry. That's crazy.
I think if Doomsday is a $2 billion movie, Spider-Man is a 1.7, $1.8 billion movie.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I'm standing on that. And I think Toy Story falls a little bit below Spider-Man.
I'm giving the minimum gap between Spider-Man and Doomsday is 400 million. Minimum
Why?
gap.
Yeah,
why
no,
do you
no,
think?
I don't
Why is it
wanna-
that you think that Toy Story 5 is not going to make as much as Zootopia 2? I'd like to break
Great
that
question.
down.
Well, that is a good question. And maybe this is just me projecting. Like I said, Toy Story 5 wasn't even on my radar coming into this draft, coming into paying attention to box office. I didn't think it had the sauce. I still don't think it has the sauce to at least surpass Spider-Man. In terms of why that compared to Zootopia, I can't really tell you why I think that. Like, I don't have a firm stance on this is exactly why. I've looked at the numbers, I've cracked the code. This is why it won't gross as much as Zootopia 2. I just don't think that we should be looking at this in the lens of, hey, look, because Ben does every Pixar sequel the past couple of years. He did it on last episode. I was listening the other day. I'm not taking that as gospel. And I know that's not what his objective was. I just don't see it, and I don't think that we should be looking at it in that light, because if it doesn't, that means it falls a little bit lower than 1.8, or that falls into the 1.567 range. And my ceiling for Spider-Man, what I think Spider-Man can do right now is $1.7 billion. Like, I think that's where Spider-Man falls. So I don't know. I don't necessarily have a firm stance on why, compared to Zootopia 2, this will not make more.
So you don't think Zootopia is a bigger property than Toy Story?
No, not at all. I don't think Zootopia, like, again, you mentioned Zootopia, you mentioned Woody, or you mentioned Nick, or you mentioned Woody. I mean, Toy Story's been around since the 90s. It's been around for forever. Like it has that leg up on it. But why are we automatically like, yeah, it has that much more of a grasp. It has that much more of an audience. Cool. It's gonna make more money than Zootopia 2. You know, I'm not seeing the vision there, just in terms of, hey, let's look at how history is performed. Let's look at how these past couple years have been. This is where I'm landing. Like, what did Toy Story 4 make?
It made just over $1 billion.
I was gonna say it was over $1 billion. Yeah,
made $1 billion.
It's like
Incredibles 2 made $1 billion. Inside Out 2 broke the record for highest grossing animated movie of all time at the time it came out. Even Moana 2, which was like not very well received by anybody, made $1 billion. And then Zootopia 2 just beat the record for highest grossing animated movie. Frozen 2 is like 1.3, 1.4.
That's fine.
I'm not saying Toy Story 5 is like a lock 1.9, but like,
I know. I have a question because y'all asked me, and I know I gave a half-ass answer, but I genuinely just don't have like a firm stance on why versus Zootopia 2. But why is this movie, you know, why are we putting this movie in Zootopia 2 talks when we've looked at Toy Story 4 made a little over $1 billion, and then out of all the ones you mentioned, we had what, Inside Out 2 and Zootopia 2? We're on Toy Story 5. We have 4 other movies to kind of look at. 3 if you want to take out the first movie, because whatever. Even just 2 if you want to look at Toy Story 3 and 4. We have those to look at. Why are we
I don't think those are the comps.
So then what is? So then what is
to me
tracking?
The two well, just for comparables, the 2 most recent ones would be Zootopia 2 last year, Inside Out 2
and
the
Inside
year
Out
before.
2. Yes.
Those are the most recent Disney sequels. Both have outdone as time goes on. They just keep outdoing one another.
But what about Frozen 2 and Moana 2? What about those 2 movies?
Frozen made like 1.4, Moana 2 made $1 billion, Toy Story 4 made $1 billion, Incredibles 2 made 1.2, I think.
So that's the thing. And I guess you gave me your answer. Our most recent 2 is Inside Out 2 and Zootopia 2, which both made almost $2 billion. And all of these other ones made anywhere from 1 to 1.4 billion. So
we're in an upward trajectory. Like, I don't.
That's fair.
The last 2 have been breaking the records. Like, that's, and then tracking is a whole nother thing, because right now Toy Story 4 in its opening weekend, Toy Story 5, excuse me, in its opening weekend is projected to beat Zootopia 2's opening weekend, which also was a 5-day weekend because it came out during Thanksgiving. And it's tracking to do better than that. It's going to
what is it tracking at?
What is the number? 175. Domestic.
Damn.
I thought I saw somewhere. I saw that Spider-Man was looking at maybe a 210 domestic opening.
How the hell are people projecting Spider-Man right now?
Tickets aren't even out.
I don't know. This guy's
got the craziest box office sources I've ever seen.
No, I mean it's
just word of mouth. I guess like you can give some sort of idea, but I mean, yeah, it's hard to track down like specific numbers.
Right now, I'm seeing approximately 130 million based on early estimates. And the estimates for
130 compared to 150 for Toy Story.
I mean, that's just current. Like, that's not based on ticket presale. Like,
right.
And
what are we doing here?
What the fuck? All right, Aiden. What the fucking
what is so fucking laughable? What is so laughable?
I just don't think like the legs that you have to stand on here are so fucking paper thin. It's crazy.
That's fine. That's why it's a hot take.
Sure, man. I'll commend you for standing fucking 10 toes down when you got a fucking barrel aimed at your forehead and one aimed at your fucking groin. Like, I'm glad you're standing 10 toes down, bro.
Batman's a B2 character. Great take, buddy. Like, holy shit. We're all like, all right, cool.
Dude, just because you didn't disagree with it doesn't mean nobody else out there is going to disagree with it. And there are so many people who Batman is their favorite fucking character. What are you talking about? And you just saying something that is so like asinine and dumb, like that doesn't make it more of a hot take than mine. Like, what the fuck? It's just fucking you can't. You just said something and you're not even backing it up with anything other than it's fucking Spider-Man, bro. It's fucking Spider-Man. I think this movie's gonna be great. Like, what the fuck?
Look at the past fucking movies. Holy
Look
shit.
at the past movies Ben just talked about. What are you talking about?
What? Inside Out 2 and fucking Zootopia 2? Let's look at the fucking Toy Story movies, the property we're talking about. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Over $1 billion
what do
for
you-
Toy Story 4.
What do you
Hey,
mean?
hey,
I have
hey,
nothing
hey,
to stand on.
hey,
Oh, no.
hey,
No. Hold on. What do you mean I have nothing to stand on? No, I'm talking to try. What do you mean I have nothing to stand on? You said I have nothing to back it up other than it's just Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Okay, well, let's look at fucking Toy Story's past couple of movies. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're so Inside Out 2, Zootopia 2, cool. Everything else before that, 1 to 1.4 billion. Like, and the opening track, what, $20 million off? What? I'm trying to get clarity there.
Okay, your tracking is just bullshit right now. Let's just be very clear about that. But
you gave me the fucking number. What are you talking about? You told me 130.
Wait, you said,
I looked it up and said it's not based on any actual ticket
You
pre-sale.
did say you said 200 million something.
You said
I said I saw 210.
Yeah.
I said I saw 210 on some random fucking tweet.
Based
Then I
on
asked
what?
Ben, and Ben gave me 130.
Yeah, Ben
What's
gave
yours
130,
fucking
but you
based
said
on?
220.
Still saying
is
it's
yours
based on
based
nothing.
on?
Toy Story 5 is
Okay.
based on actual ticket
Because we have,
pre-sales.
okay, where are the fucking ticket pre-sales for Spider-Man? They haven't come out yet. You fucking
Exactly.
moron. Like,
That's
okay.
our point.
Okay, that's a fair. I'm not saying that's not a fair point to have. I just said 130, 150. What the hell? That's because I asked for a number. What are you seeing then? Since you want to shit on what the fuck I'm seeing, what are you seeing then?
I'm not seeing
You gave me
anything.
130. You gave me the number 130. I said that's not that far off, and Charlie just starts giggling his little curly head.
I wasn't giving you 130
That's
as
what
like
I'm
a-
saying.
I wasn't giving
That's-
you a 130 as like, oh, I believe this.
I know.
I was just looking it up because you brought up some 210 bullshit.
I know. What I was saying, if you'd listen, fucking hell, got me breaking a sweat. Holy shit. If you would listen, what I was saying is, fuck. Oh my God. I need to take a second. Holy shit. Oh, I'm having fun. What I was saying was, if I know that my number was crazy because I saw a 210 just on a random tweet. So I said, what do you see? Throw me something from what you're looking. You're on your computer right now. You're looking. The number that I heard was 130. I said 130 to 150. That's not that far off. I know it's based on nothing because we don't have fucking ticket sales. And then Charlie just started giggling. That's what started this whole fucking tangent.
My giggles
I
have
know
so
it's
much
based on
power.
nothing. We have no ticket sales. I'm just saying that this is what I believe based on what I'm seeing. And I know it's not that much of a hot take because it's not an opinion that, it's opinion that differs for most people, but it's also based on cold hard facts that we are going to see soon. Again, which is why I said I didn't put a lot of time into like what my actual hot takes are. But still, like I still stand on everything I say. And I know it's a hot take, but it's like, that's what the fuck we're here to do.
I need to move on to something else that
I know.
you said.
That's
no, not my take. We're still going. But some other
it's
thing that
fine.
you said earlier, where you talked about how we shouldn't look at Inside Out 2, we shouldn't look at Zootopia 2, we should go back to Toy Story 4, which came out in 2019. You know what that's like doing? That's like telling you that you should go back and look at Far From Home, which also came out in 2019, which made $1.1 billion.
1.1. Yeah.
1.1. No Way Home made
Wait, how much did Toy Story 4 make back then?
just over 1.
Just over 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So 1.1 to versus 1. Okay.
Yeah. No Way Home was just shy of $2 billion. And this was still like, we were not far off of like, we had Far From Home, which was right after Endgame. People were still super hyped. That year of like No Way Home, the hype of 3 Spider-Man, all of that coming out at that time. I don't think that the MCU has reached that level of hype, even with the Doomsday stuff so far. We have not gotten to that point that No Way Home had that momentum in 2021. And that movie made 1.9. If you're telling me that this movie is going to come close to that, I just can't believe you. I just can't.
1.6, because my range is 1.6 to 1.8. You don't think Spider-Man lands anywhere in that range?
I think I gave the ceiling of 1.5.
Okay.
My ceiling. I think
I mean, that's fair. And my ceiling is different. Like, that's the point of these takes. Like, it is Toy Story 4 made a little over $1 billion in 2019. Far From Home made a little over $1 billion in 2019. Now we have the Face Off round 2, whatever you want to call it. franchises are
Dude.
both in completely opposite positions. Like that's just my take.
No Way Home's opening weekend was $260 million.
That's actually crazy. Holy shit. What was like End Games was like 300 opening weekend.
360.
I mean, if we're just looking at like, that is crazy. If we're just looking at like every angle, I mean, it's been longer since the last Toy Story movie than the last Spider-Man movie. There are more.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
actually, I can't say that. I was going to say there are more merchandising opportunities, and I can't say that. Spider-Man is a very merchandisable character, but so is Toy Story. Though I'd argue that they're probably very similar merchandising potential. Hold on, there's multiple Toy Story rides in all of the Disney parks. Those characters are walking around the parks. Granted, Spider-Man is too. There's one Spider-Man ride.
That's a rights thing. It's got to be a rights thing. There would have been more.
Why Spider-Man can't walk around the Disney parks in Florida?
No. I'm saying there would definitely be more Spider-Man IP and rides and whatever if Disney had access to Spider-Man earlier.
Yeah, because there's stuff. Well, there's stuff with the Universal stuff too. Like
there's a ride in Universal. Yeah,
there's a ride in Universal, and Disney can't have that east of the Mississippi River or something like that. I don't know what the specific clause is, but I don't know. There's just like, and as you said, Toy Story's been around since the 90s. Obviously, Spider-Man's been around since the 60s. People love Spider. Obviously, I'm going to say that more people love Spider-Man than they love Toy Story. But just looking at all angles.
Yeah, you've been breaking down all angles, and you keep going back to, well, I guess Spider-Man does Mog there. Like you keep going back to, I guess Spider-Man this, I guess Spider-Man that.
I mean, I'm just giving fair credit where credit is due. You know,
no, it's fine.
But I just think that, not to say that I think people are going to be tired of Spider-Man. I do think that there's an element of superhero fatigue, per se. I don't know if I guess I would call it that, but just for lack of a better term. I mean, just look at last year. Nothing performed well other than Superman in the box office. So, I mean, and that's Marvel included.
I think that's kind of unfair. I mean, you got Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. You got Thunderbolts in a Thunderbolts movie,
barely, I think, barely broke even. Barely.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, no, they did not do good. Like, but you also have to look at what the movies are centered around. Like
the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, what is the Fantastic Four as big as like an Iron Man nowadays? A Captain America, a Spider-Man, any other movie that like Deadpool and Wolverine went berserk. Like to look at last year and say the Marvel movies last year didn't perform great. It's like, yeah, I mean, you got Thunderbolts and then a movie set in a different universe, a different time period, and over characters that haven't
general audience doesn't know about the different universe, a different time period. General audience had no.
Okay, fair. Okay, then take that. But I mean, still, like Fantastic Four, who has not been in the zeitgeist in a very long time, like. You think they have enough pull to stand up with like a
fair enough,
the
but
Batman
neither
were
had
coming
Superman,
out, or if Superman were coming out?
Fair enough, but neither Superman hadn't been the zeitgeist since. I mean, I guess technically Black Adam, but even then, that was just a post-credit scene, and before that, I mean, it wasn't Superman, in there until Justice League.
Superman's fine. Like I'll give you Superman. Like I even don't really know what to combat for there, but to look at
Well, Superman did okay though, like 600 million. I think its break even was like 400 mil, 500 mil. I don't know.
Well, I mean, just in terms of just gross, but like to say that Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are good grounds to see where Marvel's at right now. If they were to put out a Spider-Man or a Avengers movie, to look at those two movies as a scale of what these other movies would do, I think that's unfair. I think that's insanely unfair.
Sure. Okay, well then let's look at
but that's what I'm saying. Let's look at Superman. Like Superman's a great
even
that's what I'm saying.
Beyond that, let's keeping it with Marvel. Let's look before Deadpool and Wolverine, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
All right.
That didn't perform. That didn't perform well. And Ant-Man is a storied character within the fucking universe. And like, obviously, the movie isn't great, and it wasn't fucking like.
I'm
not a champion for the fucking movie. What do you mean? That's not true. There's no way that's true. Ant-Man and the Wasp? No way.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, pretty sure made $1 billion.
Well,
Might
yeah,
have.
I mean, it's
I don't know
right
about
before
that. It
Endgame.
did?
Like, let's not.
Am I tripping?
You might be tripping on that one. I don't remember that. I think maybe 800 mil. I could see
I don't
800
even-
mil.
I don't even want to look at those as comparisons. So that's just
Okay, I'm tripping.
How
it
much?
made 600 million.
Oh, okay. All right.
Captain Marvel made
Was $1 billion.
made a
Yeah.
bill. Yeah.
$1 billion.
That's like Endgame time, though. Like, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of factors. I think that's part of the reason why Far From Home made $1 billion. But
I don't know. Let's look at the big. Let's look at Deadpool. Let's look at the Spider-Man movies. Let's look at the Avengers movies. Like, that's what we're comparing right now. Because
look at the
Spider-Man
Marvels.
is that big of a
Like-
movie. No, let's not look at the Marvels. Like, you're
What do you
straying
mean,
further
bro?
away from your point.
no, but
I'm not-
no.
I'm not-
If we
I'm
just
not
established
talking
that
about how
Captain
Marvel
Marvel
movies
made $1
have been
billion,
doing
how
recently.
can we look at the Marvels and think that
What?
there's not
Going up right before Endgame? That's such a dumbass. Like, don't look at them.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
No, that's so dumb. You know that's bullshit. Any
Just
universe
saying.
you put out a Captain Marvel movie that's not literally leading up to Endgame is not gonna make anywhere. It's gonna flop. It is not gonna do good. We both know that. You can't say this made $1 billion. Let's look at the Marvels. No, it's such an unfair comparison. I'm talking about Spider-Man, Avengers, some of these Deadpool and Wolverine. These big. I'd even give you Guardians of the Galaxy. Combat me on that. Like,
How much did
these
Homecoming
are the movies we need to be.
700.
That we need to be looking at. Far From Home over $1 billion and No Way Home 1.9. Like,
Okay, well, okay.
Why
If
is
you're gonna
it-
use the
why is it
Endgame point,
ridiculous?
you can't use it for Far From Home. You can't use Far From Home then if you're gonna use the Endgame
okay,
point.
fine. 1.9 for No Way Home, and okay, yeah, 700 for Homecoming. But
So wait, we think
why can't I
that
Far From Home? It's after, like, post Endgame. What do you?
It's the Endgame era. That's literally the first one after Endgame. Like, they're
You
like,
wanna- you
how are
wanna
they going to continue
fucking
this
use
shit?
the Marvels. You
That's what
want to
I'm
use?
saying.
You wanna
I'm
use
saying
the
if I
Marvels?
can't use that, then you can't use Far From Home. That's what I'm saying, Aiden. That's what I'm saying.
That's such an unfair comparison. That's still such an
Okay.
unfair.
All right. All
know
right.
it.
Can you
You
tell me how
know
it's
it.
unfair,
You
though? Can you
fucking
tell me
know
how
it.
it's unfair? Or is it going to be another one of those, I can't
A
tell you the
fucking
exact
Captain
reason why I
Marvel-
don't think it's going to make as much as
fucking
Zootopia
Captain
2?
Marvel movie, a fucking Captain Marvel movie compared to a Spider-Man movie, both centered around Endgame. Yeah, sure, bro. Let's compare the Marvels in this conversation, because look at what Captain Marvel did. Yeah, it's a fucking idiot excuse. Like, what are you talking about?
$1 billion, bro. $1 billion, buddy.
All right, yeah.
all
no,
I'm hearing
I'm
is
not following
if
through your
Brand
rage
New
there.
Day can match the heights of No Way Home, Doomsday can match the heights of Endgame. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I think I'd agree with that. I think I've been agreeing with that. What, $2 billion?
I mean, obviously, that's
2.8?
possible. But not to combat you randomly, but
it's
just
possible, but I don't think that it's happening.
I don't think that's like, just because one happens doesn't mean the other one will happen. But I'm not that you're necessarily saying that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right,
All
we
right,
got to
can we
go
move
into
on?
mid-stakes.
So wait,
Yeah,
are you?
please.
But Ben, are you in saying that? Are you saying that if Spider-Man doesn't match the hype levels of No Way Home, are you then worried about Doomsday?
I will judge Doomsday in comparison to Spider-Man's performance based on what I think the gap will be between the two. So I've stood by that, like, let's say Aiden's right, Spider-Man is a $1.7 billion movie. I think Doomsday could easily be 2.2. I will, like, kind of judge it in comparison.
Within the 500 mil. I mean, and
It depends. If Spider-Man only makes like 1.1, I'm still probably going to say that Doomsday's making 2, personally. It depends on
Interesting.
how
I know-
low Spider-Man goes, I guess.
I know Brandon's sentiment is that Spider-Man is kind of the grasp of what Doomsday will look like. So I've just been keeping an eye out for that, kind of, because again, they're all in the same conversation. You can't look at Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four and then try to predict how Doomsday will behave. I think it kind of looks at what Spider-Man does, and then you can kind of get a grasp on how Doomsday behaves. I do think they're linked. To what extent, I'm not sure, but. And I don't know. I did talk. I guess my reasoning for the Zootopia 2 thing is just looking at the previous Toy Story movies, and we've already talked about all that. So
And the last one was pre-COVID though, and every movie post-COVID has blown up. So like, I don't know. Not every movie, but every animated movie. I mean, every Disney animated movie has blown up.
Sequel, specifically.
Sequel, yes.
Originals have done terrible.
Yeah.
no, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, that's my take. I mean, I'm ready to die on the hill. I don't care. Like,
I mean, I'm just excited that in like 2 months we're gonna have a more clear answer. And I'll be honest, I might have pulled an Aiden. I might have seen some of the leaked trailer. I might have. Let's just say that. And I all that I'll say, because I won't talk details or anything, but there's a couple movies this year that I've rewatched or I know I'm going to rewatch. So Obsession and Backrooms, those are the only two so far. I have tickets to see The Odyssey twice, so like I know that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man will be a repeat viewing. Also, part of the reason I'm saying that is I was looking at, and this is maybe to Aiden's credit, I was looking at the release calendar, and Spider-Man has a very good window. Releasing right at the end of July, there is not much competition immediately after that. Whereas Toy Story is hitting Minions
with itself in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Minions, Moana, Spider-Man, Odyssey. Like
I would have loved if you could have just sprinkled some of this earlier while I was fucking screaming my head off, but it's fine. I mean, I'll take it now. No, but what the other thing I wanted to say
come with
is
your own arguments, buddy.
It's I mean, we're supposed to also participate in the podcast, right? Not like just sit on.
You want us to make your argument for you?
Anyways,
fucking crazy.
Anyways, it's releasing in China, which is the first time since I think Guardians. Is the first time in a long time that
No Way Home didn't release in China.
That they're dropping in China. And I know I talked to Brandon about this, and he's like, yeah, well, you know, some of the superhero movies that have come out there have only made about 20 to 30 mil. He's like, however, I forget what movie. I think it was Guardians. I think it was Guardians Volume 3. Maybe it was the first Guardians. I'm not sure. Something there, and I might have my numbers wrong. I'll double check while we get to Ben's take. Was looking at like 300 mil that was like being added on.
Jesus,
with China. I will double check that. Don't take those numbers as gospel, but my sentiment is it's releasing in China, and I know that wasn't.
I don't feel like that could be the case for any of the Guardians movies, because that's like in comparison.
Like I said, don't take the numbers as gospel. Don't take the numbers as gospel. But my sentiment was that China could help it out a lot, because I know that's a big deal. So
sure, yeah.
Anyways, but yes, everything else that you said, I agree, Ben.
We'll see. We'll see very, very soon. All right, my first hot take. Marvel should have never released TV shows in the MCU.
Yeah, 100%. I think we've talked about this. I think we've talked about it a little bit. I think I do agree with that.
I feel like you've said this one before, Benjamin.
Have I actually?
I feel like
you have. We've had this conversation.
Really?
I think we made a short about this. I think we made.
Oh my gosh! I'm throwing. I think we made this a TikTok. Literally, some of the exact things I was going to say, I'm now having deja vu that I've already said them. Where I'm like, I would sacrifice these good seasons.
Yes, Loki season 2. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Because Loki season 2 was a big one that we talked about, and I can't remember my take, but I was like, I do think that they should not have done it. They shouldn't have done TV shows, but I would not sacrifice some of the TV shows for like what I think they could have potentially done. I don't know. Because you talked about how some of them would work better as movies anyways. And I was like, you cannot do Loki season 2 in a movie.
But like, I guess just to like, maybe now that we have, I don't want to say foresight, but just a little bit of like a better idea of the immediate future, to maybe mix that into what you're talking about. What exactly do you mean by that? Do you mean like, if they hadn't done it, the franchise would be much better off and to be viewed more highly? Because like, how do you hold that stance, but then also say that you think Doomsday is still going to be a fucking monster of a movie? Because like, clearly it hasn't damaged the brand that much then, if you think that. So I'm interested.
I think Doomsday is just too big to fail, because I mean, they're bringing in so many characters. I mean, we have all the X-Men, the Avengers, whatever. RDJ's back, the Russos are back. Like I think that's kind of independent of where. I think anybody who like has had doubts or has felt the last few years of Marvel, I would say there's so many people who are going to be like, well, I at least got to go check out Doomsday and see what's going on. Just I think it's got too much backing behind it. I don't actually think it'll be as big of a movie as Endgame. I don't think that's realistic, but I think it's clearly going to be their biggest movie in recent years. So,
Do you think Secret Wars could be as big as Endgame? Just off of right now, before you know how Doomsday performs.
yes.
Okay.
They've been on an upward trajectory, and I'll say if Spider-Man is good and Doomsday is good, that Secret Wars is teed up to be that big. I do think so.
We still don't know what else is coming out next year, too.
Right.
Other than Secret Wars. Which
Specifically,
we'll find out at Comic-Con, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And isn't D23 this year, too? Because they didn't do it last year.
It might be.
I think it's every even year. So, yeah, 2026.
Specifically, your other question about, like, what I mean and what that means for the implications of the shows that did release. What I mean is, I think that if they had not released the TV shows and stuck to theatrical releases, obviously COVID played a factor in this. Like, people were watching stuff at home, so that like lends itself more towards TV shows. But for me personally, I just think it became a pattern of like cool ideas that just like didn't really need to be full on TV shows. And a lot of the new stuff that was brought in didn't really work super well. For as much as like Charlie defends Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's like it has good ideas and good moments, but like some of the news, like the villains. I mean, obviously we ended up getting Wyatt Russell back in Thunderbolts, and we all enjoyed that. But it just a lot of it seems very unnecessary, and I would have much rather that. I mean, there's kind of this theory going around that Kevin Feige and whoever else was very spread thin with how many projects there were, because at some point there was like still 3 movies plus like 5 shows coming out or whatever. So I think if we just eliminated that element and could have directed our focus more into like actually planning out the next phase of the MCU, I think that could have worked really well. And instead we got TV shows, which early on, most of them were based on characters that we already knew. And so it kind of felt like them just trying to make shows latching onto the stuff that we liked while not giving us a clear direction forward. Whereas if they had kind of like taken a pause and not been like, oh, let's just keep scaling, going bigger, TV shows, more characters, whatever, new storylines and all that, I think that it could have been a lot more focused, which I think is a problem that a lot of us have with the last few years of the MCU. And ultimately, I wish we would have gotten more movies these last few years. I mean, 2024, we only had Deadpool and Wolverine. And I know that like that was in part due to like Blade getting canceled. But it's like, okay, what happened from the start of production for Blade to it getting delayed and then ultimately canceled? Who was not involved that should have been involved to make sure that that project was handled properly so we could have actually just gotten that movie? Why is it the case that we have something announced and it's so mistreated that partway through production it has to get completely canned? Those things to me, like, you have to point to something, and at some point you can just point to the time and effort that was put into TV shows. And so I would be willing to sacrifice the, like, to me, maybe 3 or 4 good seasons of television that we got out of the TV shows. I would sacrifice that if it meant that our phase of movies is in a better state.
Okay, I would ask you specifically, would you get rid of all those all those good TV shows for a better Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania?
I think you literally asked this last time too. We did talk about like if we could put more effort into Quantumania and sacrifice some of the shows.
Yeah, like
I swear Quantumania was brought up last time.
I think it was.
I feel like I don't remember asking that, but I mean,
because it basically was just like, well, you know, how much better do you want to make Quantumania to sacrifice certain things? I think was kind of
I guess I was gonna go from Quantumania to other things too. So like the Marvels,
Right.
like how much.
So here's
would you sacrifice all the good TV shows to get a better The Marvels movie?
Well, here's my, because ultimately I guess this take is further than just they shouldn't release TV shows, because in my head that doesn't mean, oh, they didn't release TV shows, therefore all of the movies that we did get are better movies. I think it would have implications on the movies that we ended up getting as well. For me personally, I think that would have happened as a result. A better planned out future idea of where the universe is heading, where the next phases are heading, could have ended up in us not getting a Quantumania. We didn't release Loki. We don't have Kang. We don't have Quantumania because we're not teeing him up to be a villain. Like, it's kind of, the implications of it are broader than just like keeping the movies the same but better quality. Because like that's my whole idea with it, is that the movies that we did end up getting are a clearer vision for the future, and just better movies in general. So it's kind of hard to answer that specifically for any of the projects, because I think the whole thing would have been completely different.
Yeah. I don't even know that that's really a hot take. I think most people would agree with you.
I just think the idea of like sacrificing certain seasons, people maybe wouldn't be as on board with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can leave that as my first one, just so we have a, we can get to the others.
Sure. I do want to say before we transition out, Aquaman, I was wrong on my numbers. It wasn't Guardians. Far From Home made 200 mil in China. Venom made $270 million in China. Aquaman made $300 million in China.
The first one?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that the first Aquaman was $1 billion movie. I feel like nowadays that movie would be like,
oh, that would be horrible.
400 million or something.
Yeah. I wonder why it even was like what it was. Because that was one of the few DCEU projects that made $1 billion, right?
It was like
why Aquaman?
One of the highest grossing DCEU movies.
That's just crazy to me.
I don't really know, but yeah. All right, Charlie.
I still don't have a second one, bro. I had all this time to think about it.
I know. I don't really have a great second one either.
Yeah, bro. Like I feel like I'm a basic ass bitch, bro. I don't know. I don't have
we know.
takes.
Yeah. It's just like we bring up a topic, and like in terms of preparation and like bringing something to the show, it's like,
sorry, I can just say something that's just batshit crazy, and then like we all just universally in any other day of the week would agree that like that would not happen. But then I could just be considered a hot take because I'm just saying it.
And like it makes good content. Yeah, gives us something to do other than just listening to monotone. Yeah, bro. Yeah,
you believe. We could do a wraparound where I just go again and we snake back. I have my other take.
Yeah, give me your second.
But you guys gotta be thinking. All right, so my second hot take: if handled correctly, Star Wars would be the biggest movie franchise of all time.
I thought we were keeping the superheroes.
If handling,
it can be anything.
If handled correctly,
okay. All right, because you said superheroes in the group chat. That's why I was.
I was just
superheroes.
I said that as like,
correctly,
I kind of want to. We'll just do a superhero something, but then it wasn't meant to limit this specific thing.
Sure.
If handled correctly, Star Wars would be the biggest movie franchise of all time.
I want to agree. I want to agree off rip. Like I want to
MCU.
I want to agree off rip.
Can I give some reasoning?
Define. Yeah, I mean, give me reasoning. But my biggest thing is the definition of handled correctly.
So that is a very, very good question, because that's a very hard thing to define.
No, just fair, yeah.
Yeah, to start off, Force Awakens came out and grossed about $2 billion. It broke $2 billion. And I think it still holds the record for the highest domestic grossing film of all time. I think it has that record. And so to me, when I look at that, if The Force Awakens was like a phenomenal movie, very, very well done, setting up this new storyline, whatever that may have looked like, and then that teed up into a phenomenal trilogy of movies, because they progressively made less and less. Force Awakens made 2 billion, Last Jedi made like 1.7, and then I think Rise of Skywalker was like 1.3 because people didn't receive it very well, especially towards the end. Rise of Skywalker universally hated by the fandom. So in my head, Force Awakens, if it was like a true like we are so back return to the franchise, then them building up a trilogy like that is the equivalent, in my opinion, to like Marvel releasing like Infinity War into Endgame. Like they could have had a Force Awakens into an even better second movie, into an even better end of the trilogy, and had this like huge momentum if they were phenomenal movies that everybody loved. And so like simply based on that, I think that they could have had that momentum on top of then like if they were actually quality movies, then spinoffs would actually work for them and they could do a couple of movies a year. I mean, Rogue One still was received well and made $1 billion. Rogue One made $1 billion. And then obviously Solo flopped because people thought it was just like a useless, like, why are we getting an origin story for Han Solo? And now obviously Mando and Grogu, because it's just a few episodes of the TV show. The point being that like, if we were getting like top quality movies, I think back when Force Awakens was coming out, I think they had the momentum that could have rivaled like the MCU if we were getting that kind of treatment. So I think it just needed to, when it came back, because this was over 10 years ago, if they had a more clear idea of like, we're telling an overarching story, here's the timeline we're in, whatever, well thought out, well directed, everything just like top notch. I think they had the potential to become a bigger movie franchise than Marvel. And obviously that's a lot of like,
I agree.
obviously that's
Absolutely.
a lot of like, if who's to say, but like based on how successful it was, even with like the poor reception, it's just like, to me, that seems like a pretty almost obvious take to be just like, yeah, if this was better, it would be even bigger. Cause I do think that there is probably more, I don't know if I can say this. This is kind of a sub take to my main take.
I think I know where you're going.
I think there are more, I don't even know how to word this. I don't want to say there's more Star Wars fans than Marvel fans, because that's like, but there might
be. I would agree.
From a movie perspective, I think there might be more fans of like Star Wars as a movie franchise than Marvel as a movie franchise.
Yeah, 100%.
They just haven't gotten as many movies to really show that. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think a trilogy handled right would 100% be bigger than the MCU today. And I think there are more Star Wars fans, movie fans out there than MCU movie fans. Yep.
Charlie,
I agree with that part. I agree with that part, but no, it would not be big, because this, I don't want to transition to mine, but yet, so I won't. But I don't think that that's even remotely true. I think the franchise has.
Find it.
No, I know exactly what I'm going to say. It's just, it leads into what I am going to say for my hot take. So like, I just don't know that I want to say that.
Going to say, I don't want to hear
it. I know you don't want to hear it. Neither one of you are going to want to hear it. I just think that the franchise as a whole has just never been all that great. Like I've seen all the original I've seen all the original movies. I've seen the prequels. I think the storytelling, with character storytelling specifically within them, has always been very shoddy. Sure, you can tell an overarching story that about good persevering over evil, and that's great. I think that does it's a very compelling job of doing that. I think outside of Andor, the franchise does not handle characters well whatsoever. So
listen, we'll get to it probably when you do your take, but I just think that I'll agree with you that practically, realistically, the idea of Star Wars is better than the content itself. I'll agree with you on that front. But like I said, I think if it was handled well, we'd be having a completely different conversation. But
maybe, but when do you think it stopped being handled well? Like prequel era? Because like the prequels,
I don't think
even you guys
ever,
say now that
it was ever handled great.
The Revenge of the Sith is not that great now.
It's never been handled well. It never has.
So you're saying even the original trilogy?
I think the original trilogy is great. I think that still stands up.
I like the original trilogy, but like, I don't know.
You're saying George Lucas had no idea what the fuck he was doing building his universe.
Well, he made the prequels, so clearly.
Sure, no, yeah, but I'm saying when he built it from the ground up.
Right. Yeah, I think after that point, Star Wars conceptually and as an idea was really good. I think it needed to have somebody else at the helm to flesh it out in a better way and then not transition over to a big studio and people who don't know what they're doing to make it a mess. Like, I think if we were back in the early 2000s and we had like an MCU-esque overhaul for Star Wars where you had like a better structure and like, you know, you're Kevin Feige, you're producing all these projects, whatever. I think if you have that for Star Wars in the early 2000s, I think it is that potential huge franchise that we're talking about.
Well, and I'll ask this just because I'm interested. Do you think that without Disney stepping in, do you think that Star Wars could have ever matched the MCU in terms of how big it is, had there not been a entity to step in and kind of take things over? Because we saw that happen with.
I just feel like
there has
Marvel's
to be
as big as it is
there.
because Disney stepped in, though, as well.
That's what,
is
so that's
something
what
I
I'm
would
just.
say.
That's why I'm asking. But I see, because I know what you're saying is like having a Kevin Feige come in and kind of overhaul things. But you're saying just do exactly what you did. Give it away to Disney. Just have better care with it. Just take better care with what they're doing. If that is in the 2000s.
Yeah, just like what we ended up getting. Whoever was in charge at the time where we decided to just pull a Charlie, show up on day one of filming Star Wars, and just
what you want to say?
pull from the heart and just say whatever you want. And then you're just like, oh yeah, let's switch directors. Let's not plan out this trilogy. And then the next director has somehow the flexibility to just like undo stuff from the previous one, and then you bring back the first guy and you're like, yeah, here's kind of what you're left with. Make a conclusion, end the trilogy. Whoever was in charge of
I don't understand that because you guys are avid Last Jedi haters. So like, why are you upset with them changing stuff? You're a Last Jedi hater too, are you not? You've been right there with Ben sucking off the fucking hate boner of that movie.
I have always said that I did not like the movie when I first watched it. I do not want to make an opinion without having like rewatched the same thing with like.
You haven't rewatched it? You've only watched it the one time.
I have not watched The Last Jedi in a long time. Yeah, so that's why I'm not going to make any.
Charlie,
comments.
what's the point you're trying to make here?
Why are you so when they go and change the things that you didn't like in The Last Jedi? Why do you not like that? Like, so you want them to stick with the stuff that you didn't like?
Well, no. It's not that they changed stuff from The Last Jedi. It's that The Last Jedi changed stuff from The Force Awakens. And now you bring back J.J. Abrams to direct The Rise of Skywalker. His vision is now ruined by The Last Jedi. And so he makes do with what he can with what's teed up for him and makes a third movie that's just inherently a mess. And it's not that he then changed stuff from The Last Jedi.
He did change some stuff from The Last Jedi. He did.
Well,
as it pertains to Rey's character specifically and whatnot. But.
Well, that's a whole different can of worms.
Sure.
Why any of it played out the way that it did of she's somebody, she's nobody, she's a Palpatine, she's now a Skywalker, killing myself. But that like I just think the whole thing was a mess. Like there was the overall point, like take away everything we're talking about here. The whole point is there was no clear picture. There was no thought. There was no vision of what that trilogy was going to look like. Each movie feels like, because it for the most part it was written and directed by a completely different person who wasn't actually trying to tell a coherent story. That's a huge problem, and anybody who greenlit that and was involved with that should be fired. Like that's how I feel. It's very upsetting to see how that's being handled, and now we get the first Star Wars film back in 7 years, and frick, this little twerp, bro, deserved. He had it coming,
right?
That's what.
So that would bring me to that then too. Well, we just got a movie where it's had a consistent creator, consistent writer, consistent director throughout the entirety of the TV show and now into the movie, and you still didn't get what you would have hoped for from that entry into the franchise, but also the franchise. So like, and granted, I know this is just one director and one writer, but like, I'm just saying, it's an anecdotal piece of evidence that goes against your keeping the same vision with the same person would make it ideally turn out correctly.
But like, I don't know,
or better, not correctly.
The same guy directed all the Sharknado movies. It's like, it's got to be.
But no, that's not a fair comparison because you like Mandalorian season 1 and also a little bit of season 2. So like, that's not a fair comparison. So like what you just said is that the Sharknado movies, because they're all bad, and like the same director just directed them, they were of course all bad. But like Mandalorian season 1 is really good, and season 2 is also still pretty good. But then season 3 is not great. Apparently, I haven't seen it. But then the movie is fucking awful. So like,
well, then Jon Favreau is just the good comp here because he he directed some decent movies and then directed Iron Man, and then he's been on a downward trajectory. He directed the Lion King animated remake or whatever. Yeah. It's like, I'm not just saying that consistency fixes the problem. The bigger point is planning. Like the plan to have the Mandalorian and Grogu end in the exact same way that it starts and accomplish absolutely nothing is not a good plan at all.
Sure.
At some point, I guess it doesn't matter who is directing it as much as it matters who is greenlighting the vision of the story that we're telling at whatever period in time that we're telling it. That didn't happen for the sequels. That wasn't the case for this Mandalorian movie. I would say the only time it's really been the case, Rogue One. That's the only time with Disney. Maybe there's some animated shows that you can point to. A lot of people like the end of the Clone Wars. A lot of people like Bad Batch, Maul, whatever.
Did they announce an Andor show right when Rogue One came out, or
no? Not right when it came, because Andor season 1 I think was 2021,
right?
2022, and Rogue One was 2016.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit, but I would say that's the only thing that they've done that's like coherent, well thought out plan and execution. And so the point is, like, you have some overlap of like writers within that. Gareth Edwards directed the movie, and now Gareth Edwards has made, a mid Jurassic World film. So like, who cares? But the point being, like, it can be directed, written by like a group of people. As long as the vision is there, it can work out. Because it did in this one specific instance. So I just think like
Star Wars with a cohesive vision for taking the story past episodes 1 through 6 could be bigger than the MCU.
Correct.
Yeah. See, and I'd agree with that. I think
there's enough post 6, and there's enough pre 1, and there's enough in between. Like, obviously there's big questions of like, if you're jumping time periods back and forward and whatever, like how do you do that, whatever.
Yeah.
The point being, there's so much to explore. There's so much that we don't get to explore. There's so much that's being explored now through video games. There's stuff that's being explored through TV shows. It's ridiculous. Even like, I hated The Acolyte there are things that are explored in the Acolyte and the time period of the Acolyte. I want to see stuff from that time period. I don't want to see the Acolyte. That like there's a clear distinction between those two things. So it's just a shame because like it is one of my favorite franchises, but like I said, the idea of it is often better than the thing itself, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just disagree. I don't think that. I mean, obviously, there's the potential that it could be. Of course, there's potential for that. DC could have been better than could have been bigger than Marvel, but and still could be, I guess, with James doing everything he's doing now.
I'd also agree that DC handled correctly would be bigger than Marvel.
I don't think so.
You think?
I think you have a lot more there.
Not so.
Well, maybe in hindsight that's a potential, but like now,
like going forward with Superman, Supergirl, and everything.
Going forward, no, I don't think it'll be as big as the MCU. No, I don't think
as big. So you don't even think it'll reach the heights that the MCU, not even surpassing it. You don't even think it'll reach it.
No, I don't. I think it will. I don't. And we've talked about this before. I don't.
We have talked about that.
We have.
I think
I remember you saying that though, and I don't remember you saying that. But
I think in the 2000s. I mean, yeah, in my opinion, has probably changed since then. But I think in the 2000s, you give DC an overhaul like Marvel, and you have a universe where you have DC with whoever at the helm, and they make their universe, and then you have the MCU plays out the way it did. I think DC would be bigger and better.
See, I don't know. I kind of think both. I think on two sides of the same coin. On one hand, I think that Marvel now has become too iconic where I don't think DC can beat it. So like we have Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, whatever. I don't think that we're going to have, 3 superheroes in the DC universe that are going to be able to go toe to toe with just the sheer popularity of those characters. But on the other hand, I have also said that I think the start of the DC universe under James Gunn, I don't think I said was going to be more financially successful, but I said story-wise, I think that we're going to get to similar highs that the MCU had, but I think we're going to get to them sooner. Just like pure comparison of like Superman to Iron Man, we're getting Supergirl, Man of Tomorrow. Like,
I mean, Man of Tomorrow already going with Brainiac and Superman and Lex teaming up to fight Brainiac. Like, yeah,
so
that's a big jump compared to
our phase 1 of stuff in the DC universe, I think is going to be like clearly better than phase 1 of the MCU quality wise. Does that mean we hit the heights of Avengers 1? Not necessarily, but can it be a better start to the universe overall? I think it can. Probably not financially, but just like story wise, world building wise.
And that's
your sentiment go right now.
If we're snaking, I would be going second, and I have mine. We can keep it.
Or for snake, but I didn't. Short. But the point is, I didn't get.
Yeah, well, I mean, but is that your fault or is that?
I'm saying it's my fault. I'm acknowledging it's my fault.
I think you'll have a better one. I think I'll just go second.
Go ahead, Aiden.
Because mine is still just whatever. Honestly, I mean, I could have probably taken the DC one, but I'll contribute that. I'll use that as my contribution to the conversation. Mine is that I think Captain America in the MCU is like one of the most overrated characters in the franchise. Like, I just do not see the hype. I think he's kind of overrated.
Steve Rogers?
I think he's boring. Kind of how like Charlie's sentiment with like a B tier character. I think Captain America is a B tier character in the MCU.
Captain America is on the same tier as Batman.
You think he's boring?
No. I like how he said that Batman's a B tier character. That sentiment.
Yeah. But you agree with
this character B. What do you? Yeah, with Batman,
so you would have them on the same tier.
Honestly, I like MCU.
Maybe bottom B tier for you.
Comics,
like Batman's top B tier.
Probably C tier. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say that Steve Rogers is a C tier character for me. Yeah, I think he's a boring character. I don't really think there's a lot.
So why do you think?
To gravitate
and not that I'm highly comparing the two, but why do you think Superman is a good character, but Captain America is a boring character?
I think in terms of like categories, like I look at Captain America as a leader right? I think there are better leaders. We've talked about this. I think there are better leaders out there. There are better characters that are leaders out there in terms of like, just potential, how characters react to situations around them, how characters react to conflicts. I think there are better. Commander Erwin is just the goat when it comes to that. Like he's
Listen,
he's the goat.
Erwin.
That's what we were talking about.
I love Erwin, but
I know we
push back on you on this.
Yes.
Just because I think there's different ideas of what being a leader is, and like without getting into spoilers, I think that like Erwin, the way Erwin does leadership is incredibly different than how Captain America does leadership.
Yeah, fair. I also think the idea of Superman just being this almighty being that could literally destroy the entire Earth in a nanosecond if he wanted to, but because he loves humanity so much and because he loves the idea of humanity so much, he just doesn't, and he just wants to do good, is so much more interesting. And you could play around with so much more cool. I know I said one of those wrong. Stories to tell with that than you could with Steve Rogers. And like, don't get me wrong, I love Civil War, but it's like, do I love Civil War because I love Steve Rogers, or do I love the conflict that's there with Bucky and how Bucky is handled? Not Civil War, Winter Soldier. Bucky's contribution to the movie, because First Avenger, I think, is a boring movie. There's not a lot to chew on there. It's Captain America's solo movie. Civil War is an Avengers, 2.5 or 1.5, whatever, 2.5. So it's like, I don't know. That's why I say Steve Rogers in the MCU, Captain America is a C tier character for me. Not comics, not other iterations of him, but Captain America, Steve Rogers in the MCU. There's just not a lot to chew on there. Like, at least the Superman sentiment, like that, I think is really cool. That I think is really fascinating. But just kind of having Steve Rogers, who is a good person, then takes the serum and is just an even better person, and is just like, I'm just humble, nonchalant guy, like I don't know. There's not a lot to chew on there for me. And so I've never been a big Captain America fan when it comes to the MCU. I don't really care. And you point to the movies that I could possibly see. I mean, his conversation with Iron Man, yes, but like I said, you got all the other Avengers in Civil War, again, Iron Man and Bucky, and then you have Captain America, Winter Soldier, where Bucky has a huge contribution to that movie. It's like, I don't know. I think Steve could be a really cool and interesting character. I just don't think we get any of that in the MCU. I don't think we get a lot.
I'm going to turn to a quote that I don't know who says it, but I've seen it around a lot lately as it pertains to Captain America and Superman and what you said. Is it better to be born good or to overcome great evil and become good?
Is it better to be born good or overcome great evil and become good?
Good.
Who is that in
So I would argue that Superman was born good in a sense, because he's born, he hardly knows his parents, and he's sent away, and he's raised by Ma and Pa Kent. Of course, they have great values, and they're instilling those values within him. He was bullied. I think I haven't really read very many early Superman comics, but I watched Smallville, and if that's anything to go off of, he was bullied in high school and whatnot. So I guess that's maybe an overcoming evil and still deciding to be good sort of moment, if that's the case. But like in terms of Steve, like as we just outright see, like he's a scrawny kid and he's bullied and he's picked on all the time and beat up regularly, and Bucky comes to save him, and he still chooses to do what's right, and he says he doesn't like bullies, he doesn't care where they're from. Not that I'm shitting on Superman. I love Superman. He's my favorite DC character. He's probably my second or third favorite superhero. But just to play devil's advocate against your case here, because I don't fully agree with you. I don't think Steve is a boring character, and because I think the similar reasons why I find Superman so compelling, I find Steve so compelling. But I think that Steve has overcome those evils in his life. He didn't have like the traditional parents to like lean on and teach him those good values. At least I don't think so. Maybe I could be wrong. And so he kind of he was in the mud, and he learned it himself. He taught himself what it was to be a good person and do those things and be a good leader and not sacrifice, or sacrifice as little as possible.
But I feel like that kind of takes away some of Superman's qualities of just like his parents raised him the right way. And so, hey, he's born good. You know, he was born good. I feel like that kind of reduces him as a character when you're making this, when we're having this conversation, that kind of reduces Superman as a character where, I think the same could possibly go for Steve. Like, sure, he didn't have like a loving family, but we've seen
if you're saying that, good. Sorry to cut you off, but if you're saying that, what were your thoughts? Why didn't you? I don't remember you saying such a sentiment after coming out of the Superman movie, because I feel like largely that's what that movie is saying. Like, if he had seen the original message from his parents, like, would he have turned out differently? Is that not what the movie is saying?
I don't think so. I mean, that's not at least what I got from it. Like, you're saying if he had seen what the movie is saying is that if he had seen that message when he was a kid, he would have been like, okay, well then I have to take over Earth. Like,
is that not what the movie is trying to tell you? Is what I'm saying.
I don't think it would have mattered. I think what the reason for that being in there is to show that maybe Superman, I'm trying to find a good way to put this because I know where I want to go with it, but in terms of the message, because we still see Superman overcome that regardless. We see him overcome if that message is true, right? Say a universe where that message is true, and he finds proof that message is true, which he assumes which he does in the moment. Yeah, he assumes it is. He still overcomes that. He still overcomes that nature.
I'd say he overcomes it by just pushing that aside. Like, it's like the scene that I just sent you the other day.
Yeah,
like at the end of the movie when he's no longer looking at the images of his parents from Krypton. He's looking at Ma and Pa Kent and their memories together.
But I think part of the reason he fights against it and overcomes it is because of the morality that he has grown by thinking that he's there for good intentions.
And that goes to Charlie's point in terms of Ma and Pa raising him the way that they did.
Yeah, that's what
that's I could see that point. Yeah. But what do you mean? I didn't come out of the movie with that sentiment.
Well, because I just don't remember you, because you're saying that reduces his character to view him as like he's only good because of that. But I'm saying
because of how he was raised.
That was a large part of a point of contention for a lot of Superman. I don't think I said that. I don't think I had that same complaint.
Yeah, and I don't think
that was a large point of contention for a lot of Superman fans, is the fact that like that's how the movie was painting it, was that he was good because of what his parents taught him growing up here, and if he had seen that message, then he would not have been that good.
Oh, interesting. No, I think I always kind of interpreted that as if that even if he had seen that message, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, now that I'm
maybe I could be misremembering. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, of course, but
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't even consider that, leaving that. Oh, he's only good because he didn't see that message when he was younger, and now that he's seen it.
I mean, it is something that they tackle in the movie. I think that's a conversation he has with Pa Kent. Like, I think Pa Kent tells him, like, I don't remember exactly what they said in the conversation.
Yeah.
He says something
about like what makes you a good man isn't
like what your parents left you with, or something like that.
Yes,
it's just what's about you, or something like that.
You aren't your parents, or something like that.
Yeah. So probably something like that. So I could be wrong. I could be off base.
Well, then, if that is what the movie's trying to say, if the movie is trying to say, yeah, had Superman seen that as a kid and just went to Earth and just like completely obliterated it, I do think that does reduce his character a little bit, because I like to believe that Superman, I like to believe that Superman wouldn't put his powers to use like that. He wouldn't see that message and then go annihilate Earth and completely kill it and like destroy or take humanity as his slaves. I don't want to believe that Superman has the like I don't want to think that Clark Kent sitting there thinks in his head, damn, I could do this. I think that idea never crosses his mind once.
And I agree with that. I
makes the movie palatable for me. Yeah.
I want to say I largely agree with that. But to continue playing devil's advocate and we're kind of getting into a different conversation here. But just last thing I'll say about it is like I think that from a nihilistic standpoint, from a just trying to be an annoying fan, one could argue, I think, that the movie almost still perceives it that way with just putting the idea of how much Clark loves his Earth or his Krypton parents and just how much he idealizes them and plasters them everywhere in the Fortress of Solitude and that kind of thing. So like if that's how much he misses them and loves them and wishes that he got to experience that life with them, like why would he not look at those videos and be like, and this is how I honor them is doing what they tell me to do, you know?
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, that's neither here nor there. Like, again, that's just me being
an
annoying fan.
And to bring it back home, like, I think part of the reason why I gravitate more with Superman in regards to Steve Rogers is just what I said, is that Clark has the ability of holding humanity hostage, destroying the entire Earth, yet nothing will ever shake him down to his core to make him do that or even consider doing that. Whereas Steve Rogers is, good old boy. And that's like kind of the extent that we see sacrifice. We see that he's never selfish or we don't trade lives. That just doesn't do a ton for me, whenever it like just, man, what a great guy. Like, I don't know. We don't really see it be put. I don't think we see that because what my mind immediately goes to is that Luffy has no character development, right? Luffy is the same Luffy throughout the entirety of One Piece. He's just, hey, I'm good. I liberate people and I go through this. But we see that challenged every single arc. We see somebody put that to the challenge for him or put that to the test. And tear him down to his bones and push him to his limits. We get to see that, and we get to see that inner character of Luffy and who Luffy is expressed in those moments. And we don't get to see that with Captain America as much as I would like to, given that he is, side by side there with Iron Man. And so whenever we do see little bits of it, it doesn't hit like I feel like it should. Like, I feel like we needed more of it. And because we didn't get a lot of it, he's just a boring character to me.
I just don't agree with that personally.
That's fine. I knew you wouldn't. Like, I know you're a big Steve Rogers guy, but he's never hit for me. I've never been over the moon about him as a character.
I mean, I think that largely a lot of his more compelling character beats come in like Civil War. He's straight up just like pushing against every institution that he has come to trust in his new 21st century life. The Avengers, the new government that he doesn't really work for. The Avengers don't work for the government, but that's what Tony's trying to do. Well, work for the government.
I don't mean to cut you off, but Team Cap in Civil War, Captain America's fucking reasons are horrible. Like, you hid from Iron Man that Bucky killed your parents.
No,
and you're justifying.
You're talking about the Bucky of it all, like the actual Sokovia Accords part of it. I don't.
No, the Sokovia Accords where they need to check in with folks.
The government.
Like, the Bucky of it all. That's a fucked up move. And so I'm like, I've always watched Civil War and been like, I get your ride or die for your homie, but like, this is not a good look, man. And it's this whole like, are you like something that Captain America's selfless, right? Captain America will never trade lives with people. buddy, you just traded Iron Man's fucking parents' lives because Bucky's just made this face turn and you never informed Iron Man of any of this. Like, I'm supposed to think that I'm supposed to take your side, and then you get your dance with Peggy, your first selfish act. Like, buddy, you had a selfish act in Civil War. What are we talking about? Like, you put Bucky's lives and livelihood over your buddy there, Tony Stark. I mean, I don't know.
But like,
I've always watched Civil War and had that sentiment.
The only thing that I would say though is like, is it really hurting Tony? Because like, Tony knows his parents are dead, and in Steve's mind, and truthfully, it's the truth, it was not Bucky that did that. Like, it was Hydra that did it. Like, they made Bucky do it against Bucky's will.
I mean, fair, yeah, but
I just like, I see what you're saying, absolutely, and not like me as Captain America. Do I tell? Sure, and like, I'm trying to think. Do I tell Tony like in that scenario? Because you got to think he also knows how Tony's going to react telling him. So like, you could probably put Bucky somewhere and make sure Bucky's safe far away, and then tell him, let him know. But then is Tony just going to go out of his way to like hunt him down and kill him in a separate place far away from Steve, where Steve can't do anything to stop him? You know,
I've just always, every time I've watched that movie, I want to smack the fucking smug look on Captain America's dumbass face when he has Tony like pressed up and he's just like, nah, man, like, or I forget what happens, but I know that there's a moment in that fight with him and Iron Man that I'm just like, God, I could smack the goofy off of you right now. I hated Cap, bro. He pissed me off. So I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan. And then when I really think about it and look into them, I'm like, man, like Winter Soldier's great. One of my favorite Marvel movies, one of my favorite superhero movies ever. Is it great because Captain America's awesome in it? Or is it great because like Bucky actually gets to challenge Captain America's character and whatnot? Again, something that we don't get to see a lot at all in the MCU, which is just like, it just doesn't do it for me. You can have like a Batman. You can have a character that does not ever progress. It's just, again, I hate to keep calling back to it, but it is Luffy. This is how Luffy is. Luffy goes through no development in the entire show, but you get to see that character pushed. You get to see that character shine in amazing moments. And I don't get to see a lot of that with Captain America. Superman's first movie, I got to see it so many times and it hit to the point where I was like tearing up. Captain America, that shit, I have never felt anything watching except for him picking up Thor's hammer and then obviously, you know, his send off, some of those moments. Other than that, in just a regular movie, it's just like, cool, Captain America's being selfless. Cool, Captain America's being, you know, good old boy. I need something more. I need him to be pushed to his limits. I need to see that in action where he could destroy the entire world, but he doesn't because he knows that he wasn't raised that way. Something like that. I need to see more of it. And I just don't get. So anyways, that's my take. We spent a lot of time on my take, so I apologize.
Sure. I mean, yeah, my last one is just I think Star Wars is a mid-franchise. I think aside from Andor and some video games.
You mean like the quality of content or like the world?
Oh no,
itself?
I think he means the world itself. At least that's what.
Like the world, the planets, the Force, dark side, light side, Sith.
Probably the quality of the movies.
Okay,
yeah, the quality.
That's a very
that's an important distinction. I have a lightsaber, so yeah, that's an important distinction.
Yeah, I probably will this fall.
Like a Disney one.
Yes.
Oh, mine's not. A Disney one, buddy. Mine's a $600 lightsaber, custom built. Okay, so.
Okay, did you get it in Galaxy's Edge and then go drink in the cantina after going on Smuggler's Run and riding in the Falcon with Chewbacca? And
no, did you do that? Did you do that?
I'm about to.
I could, if I wanted to, I could do that before you.
And it's probably not going to cost $600.
Well, after having a drink and everything, like getting into the park and whatnot. Yeah, I mean,
that's actually fair.
But yeah, I think that it's a franchise that, as I mentioned before, it never takes a step to go even remotely deeper. Like it's built for entertainment. I think of the Martin Scorsese roller coaster stuff so far, like that, even the original trilogy, like you're never building anything that's all that deep or thought provoking. It's just like a very by the numbers sort of. It's an enjoyable experience. I do like the original trilogy. Of course, I wish it was like more modern, because like seeing the like lightsabers and whatnot like that don't look as great as they do now. Not that the fights back then, I honestly kind of look better, which is crazy to say. Dude. But yeah, I just think that the franchise has never taken a step to I don't want to say like legitimize itself, because I think that's like an unfair wording, but just it doesn't do anything of interest with not even just character writing, but just plot writing, other than just maybe some grassroots like topics of tyrannical governments and stuff like that. Which you see in stuff like Hunger Games and everything. It's nothing unique there. Not that Hunger Games was around before Star Wars, but it's not a unique idea, is what I mean to say. So like, I agree with what you said, Ben, is like this has the potential to be really big. I still don't think bigger than Marvel. It has the potential to be really big, and we've seen the potential of it. Maybe not being big, because I don't know how big Andor was necessarily, like watch number wise. But just the quality of storytelling in Andor, both character and plot progression wise, just overall story is just so damn good. Like that is a story on a tyrannical government. It's the same tyrannical government that's riddled throughout the rest of the franchise, but this one is just, it's handled with so much more love and care and just true grit. And the true depression of it all. Like it's just so, like all of that is there. All of the beats are there, and no other points in the franchise do they even remotely take a moment to even consider something like that. Like the most we got in this most recent movie was Mando saying, "I don't work for the Hutts. I don't work with the Hutts." All right, bro. Like, can you want to tell me why, man? Do you stand for anything? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? I just, I don't know, man. And obviously, I know we're only talking about movies here, because I also do want to highlight like the games are also different. The Cal Kestis games specifically, like they dive into his character and his life and everything. And I think that they handle those with a lot more depth than anything that the movies do as well. I can't speak to many other Star Wars games. I played the Force Unleashed games, but that was a long time ago. But yeah, man, I just think that, I mean, this isn't anything new for me. You guys know I've never been the biggest Star Wars guy, and I don't know if that's part of it. It's just that because you guys know I'm a big character guy, and I think that these movies just don't really have that in abundance. So
yeah, as much as I love Star Wars, I pretty much agree with you, because like, for somebody who's such a big fan of the universe, I feel like we deserve for this franchise to be better than it is, and for us to get more movies, better movies, whatever it may be. I think it's a real disservice that we haven't gotten that. And I mean, just even watching some of the Star Wars movies recently, they really are just like movies that just tell a story. Like it opens with a text crawl, and then it just throws you into a story, and it just goes beat for beat. And there's, it's really just watching a journey, and it doesn't look like an attempt to try and make it more compelling than like what it is at face value. And I agree with that entirely. And it's very unfortunate, because I like thinking now with like the Dune movies, it's like if we had the right people dealing with Star Wars, we would get that kind of quality, but in a universe that I like the Star Wars universe way more than the Dune universe. I think almost everybody would say that. And like an Anakin Skywalker could have been treated like a Paul Atreides. And, no offense to George Lucas, but
such a great point.
And no offense to Hayden Christensen, because I think he was overly hated. But I think if we were starting fresh from Star Wars Episode 1, treating it like Dune 1, and if we just started fresh with this story with the right people making the movies, I think we'd be looking at like an incredible series of movies. And instead, we just have it's such a mess, not even mentioning like the fact that we had the original trilogy back in like the 70s and 80s, and then we do the prequels, and then we do the sequels. And I get it, like that's how they decided to tell the story sequentially. But like just from a consistency standpoint, from a movie making standpoint, they're just vastly different. Like they don't feel like they're connected trilogies. I mean, they're their own pockets of trilogies, but really it's supposed to be one overarching story. And it just doesn't feel like that at all. So I agree with you. And specifically, I agree with you as a hardcore fan of the franchise who is upset and feels like we all deserve for it to be better than it is.
I would have pushed back a little bit if you said that it wasn't just like the Star Wars as a franchise world universe is made. I would have pushed back a lot
because that might be the best fictional universe. It might be.
Actually, the world of Invincible.
I think both DC and Marvel are better than Star Wars.
See, but that is mostly just Earth with heroes. That is not like
the Green
superhero conversation.
The Green Lantern Corps are an entire they're space cops. They go throughout the entire universe.
I guess yeah, that's the question of which species are you in this given. I don't know.
Are we pretending like we're placed in the universe? I was just saying the universe, like encompassing everything, because like there's like the Guardians in Marvel, as well as the Fantastic Four, which are Earth heroes, yes, but they also go across the galaxy, universe, etc.
Well, it's just like if you're just like a standard NPC in the Star Wars universe, you're likely that you can go and fly a spaceship across the galaxy. That's not a hard thing to do as just like a normal dude in Star Wars. If you're just a normal person in the Marvel universe, you're gonna get
you could get
powers at some point. You could get powers, or you could just die. Like I don't,
because I think that's the trade-off. Like in a Star Wars universe, if you're not like force sensitive, like what are your options then? Like you can be a bounty, you can become a bounty hunter.
Bro, fly across the galaxy, jerk off on a bunch of planets. Like you don't have to be involved in this whole, rebels and the Empire. I'm just saying you could drunk drive an X-wing. Like that's an option that you could do. Get some death sticks and get a little,
All right, now you're convincing me. That's what I said. Like an NPC in the Invincible universe would be amazing.
To me, DC and Marvel, like he
just moved on. Fuck, Harry.
I just think you're just human, and there are people with superpowers. Because then, if you ask me, would I rather be? If the question is, would I rather be a Jedi or a superhero? It depends on the superhero. If it's the right superhero, I'm probably picking superhero. But in general, if I don't get to pick which superhero I am, I'm probably picking Jedi.
So you would take being a Jedi over being a random superhero?
Yes, if it's a complete random, yes.
Oh, I think I would too.
Yeah. Now, if I get to pick, we are all picking to be Spider-Man. If you can choose like that. We know
I regularly once a week get depressed that I can't be Spider-Man. Not actually depressed, but I get a little bit sad. I'm like,
every Wednesday I wake up rock hard. Yeah,
fair.
So I don't know. But from like a universe and lore perspective, like Star Wars, there's so much to it, and I feel like no matter which planet you're on in the galaxy, there's so many things happening. There's so much variety. If you're just a human on Earth in the MCU or in the DC universe, it's the same or it's more dangerous than our Earth is right now.
For us, go and get yourself some damn power, son.
Go get yourself some V1.
Okay, ain't nothing like that, bro. All you gotta do is find a spider to bite you, bro. All you gotta do is rub some radioactive fluid in your eye. All you gotta do is drink the Hulk's blood. All you gotta do is or maybe not drink it, but rub it on a cut that you have. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, and when I think of like fictional universes, MCU doesn't even really that doesn't really come to mind. I think of more a Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, that kind of thing. Because those are like truly fictional worlds. I mean, I guess there is the equivalent of that in Marvel, but a lot of the time
I wouldn't say Harry Potter's truly fictional. It's like basically hidden. Harry Potter is basically a fucking hidden world. There's like the real world and then there's hidden world.
So it's like Wakanda.
Yeah.
Wakanda for kids.
Yeah.
Wakanda for kids that are not of one ethnicity.
What's it? No, because they have mudbloods and stuff there too. So never mind.
Yeah, they're racist. Yeah.
Race exists.
Not a bad take though, Charlie. Not a bad take. And it's upsetting, but it is agreeable. So
yeah, I would agree with that too. I didn't have a lot of insight, but yeah, I'd agree.
Fucking A, bro. Aiden has agreed with every fucking hot take.
No, I have not. What are you talking about?
You did, bro. Yes, you did.
Oh yeah, I guess I did.
You did it.
Well, like I mean, look. Okay, to be fair, Star Wars is a mid franchise. Who has not complained about fucking Star Wars since for
sure? But I would
recent years.
I would think,
of course, we've all talked about it on this podcast.
But I'm not saying recent years. I'm saying it's always is and always has been. Like I don't think
even the original trilogy.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's where that's fucking stupid. I think the original trilogy is great. I'd push back there, but I mean, still,
from a writing perspective, though, from like a character writing perspective, you think the original trilogy is really like fucking pushing the bounds of deep thought and I don't know.
I'm not saying, but I don't think that doesn't mean that doesn't necessarily mean that I think the movies are mid. If it's not doing that, I'm not gonna sit there and say, well, it has to do that for me, or else. I mean, we like the boys finale. What are you talking about? Why do you draw the line there for the Star Wars
I said that they're. I said while you were gone, I said that they're pretty much just for entertainment purposes, and I even said like the Martin Scorsese roller coaster theme park thing. I think that is Star Wars through and through, and it always has been. Other than Andor and some video games, I think that has always been Star Wars.
I don't know. I just think that's such a weird take because I mean I feel like that's a lot of superhero movies. Now you have some that are like the Andors, cool. Like you're gonna have some that hit there, but it's like you're talking about 9 movies.
But I'm saying
and a couple of TV
Star Wars
shows.
has never had anything. Maybe the Clone Wars. I haven't seen the Clone Wars show, but Star Wars has never had anything like that until Andor.
The last season
a
of
franchise
the
that's
Clone
been
Wars,
around since the 70s.
Rebels is really good too and has a lot more to say than just entertainment for entertainment's sake. The last season of the Clone Wars is phenomenal, touches a lot on that. Andor, obviously, and then I think the original trilogy is good because that was kind of the launching point. That is kind of like saying you're not doing anything groundbreaking with Iron Man or like the first Avengers movie, but it's
not like saying
awesome.
That at all. It's one movie versus 3.
Exactly. Avengers, Iron, like some of the starting movies in the MCU
will have more character depth than the first 3 Star Wars movies.
No, that's dumb.
All right.
That's dumb.
Okay.
No, that's dumb. Yeah, I don't agree there. I don't agree at all. Like
I think
the original 3 Star Wars movies have a lot more to say than just entertainment for entertainment's sake. On top of the other mediums I mentioned, the TV shows and whatnot that I mentioned, Rogue One as well. Like you're gonna have some hits in there. There is just such a vast animated shows, the MCU movies, Marvel TV shows. There's so much of that out there that you focus on what the great ones are, right? What ones are telling a good story. and then the other ones that are obviously just there for entertainment. Okay, well, like, why are you looking at Star Wars and being like, Star Wars has always been like that? No, they've had their hits. Yes, that's 1 through 3.
You want to include TV shows? Okay, then fine. But if we cut out the TV shows, not even talking about Andor,
you said the franchise. You said Star.
No, I know.
I know.
I'm saying cut that, and now I'm saying cut that shit out. The entire franchise has just been for entertainment purposes. If you cannot point to any TV shows, that is the entire franchise of Star Wars. Nothing but entertainment purposes. There's no deep and compelling thought for character writing, for compelling fucking narrative.
God. As somebody who has not watched the Clone Wars or Rebels, for you to sit there and say that,
I just said cut out the TV show. I just said cut out the TV show.
Then
roll the tape back.
Did
I just say that?
Then cut out the TV shows for Marvel. Like, if we're
that's what I'm saying.
Movies,
yeah, if we're doing movies to movies, Marvel is better.
Excuse for Marvel
What do you mean? Marvel has way more opportunities where they have been on top of compelling character writing, more thought-provoking writing. Like,
you have 3 times.
What's the most thought-provoking shing shit in Star Wars? I'm your fucking dad. Oh, fuck, bro! Holy shit!
You have 3 times more of the fucking movies. That's what I'm saying. There's a vast majority of projects to pick from when it comes to Marvel movies. Even the X-Men, the Fox movies, whatever. You have so much you could pick from in terms of stories they tell or characters. You have 9 movies because you want to cut out TV shows. You have 9 Star Wars movies, 3 that were made breaking the ground in terms of just spectacles on the screen that I also think are good. They're not amazing character-wise. We're not getting fucking what's the fucking past lives type fucking writing in there. Where, like, yes, they are blockbuster movies, but so are the Marvel movies, and you have 3 times more to pick from there. Now, you include the TV shows, my point still stands. You have a lot more to pick from there. You're not going to talk about the duds. You're not going to talk about Agatha all along as soon as you start talking about Marvel projects. You're going to talk about all the good ones. So it's like, does that make Marvel a mid-franchise? Like, you take the
I've never shied away. I've not shied away from Marvel's doubts.
Is Marvel a mid-franchise? Is Marvel a mid-franchise?
Let's compare apples to apples. Then the first nine projects of the first 9 movies of the MCU versus the 9 movies in Star Wars. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm asking you: is Marvel a mid-franchise?
No.
Okay. Like, you take Star Wars' projects, you times it by 3, you get the MCU. It's just the law of large numbers. And so for you to look at Star Wars,
what are you talking about? So if we're just talking about movies, all you have to hinge on are the original 3. Do you understand that? Like, even if I were to grant you that, you only have the original 3 movies. So a franchise that's been going for the past 50 fucking years, you have the original 3 fucking movies, and that's what you can point to.
And Rogue One, because
Rogue One too. I'll give you that,
because that's all they have. Like, what is your argument?
So they finally made another fucking compelling one after fucking 40 years. Yippee, fucking A, bro. So what are we talking about?
You have 4 Star Wars movies that are good, and I think are not just put out there for entertainment's sake. You have 4 of them out of 10. So you're saying that you have over 12 that are actual good, thought-provoking, what you're looking for in terms of movies for Marvel? Like, do you have 12 or less? That's what I'm trying to say. You can take the one-to-one comparison.
Where'd you get 12 from?
Because if I'm saying that there are 4 great Star Wars movies out of 10, you times that by 3, which is what Marvel has, 30 movies out there, then you're going to have 4 bangers in there. That's what you are calling a mid-franchise. You're picking from that sample size.
So I need 12 Marvel movies.
But Charlie wouldn't say that there's 4 great Star Wars movies.
And that's why I'd say it's a bad take. That's why I don't agree with it, because I would say that there are 4 great Star Wars movies on top of a lot of good TV shows that have more to say than just being entertainment. So for him to say that Star Wars is a mid-franchise because of that, I don't agree. Like, that's why I think it's a hot take, and I don't I don't think anybody else would agree with it. So no, I don't agree with that. Star Wars could have been bigger than the MCU. I mean, yeah, I agree, because we've talked about how good the franchise is, me and Ben at least. Marvel should have never made TV shows. Ben brought that up a long time ago, and we agreed. So
I would even change mine to Star Wars should have been a bigger franchise than the MCU. I would trade the MCU and its success for Star Wars being the biggest movie franchise, I'd trade that in a heartbeat. For me, because I like the universe more. But
I think there's more that I would like in Marvel, so I wouldn't trade that. Just superhero stories and characters.
well,
I wouldn't trade it,
not
but
that you don't get anything from Marvel. It's that Star Wars is the big boss, super successful franchise, and Marvel is not. But yeah. Anyways, that's going to be it for our hot takes. Next week, we will have more exciting discussion. Aiden will hopefully finish Spidernoir. And then we also have the release of Disclosure Day and kind of a low-key movie that I don't know if it's on your guys' radar, but I would recommend you guys check it out. It's called The Furious. It is a new action movie. I believe it's an Indonesian action movie, but a lot of the people who worked on it are the people who worked on like the Raid movies, which are highly regarded as some of the best, just like pure action movies of all time. They're usually pretty light on story, but it's like the coolest action you're ever going to see. The trailer is insane, even if you just check that out. And if that convinces you, you'll be sold. It's just a pure action, high octane movie. I'm super excited for it. It's getting raving early reviews. People saying it's one of the best action movies since the second Raid film. So I'm very excited for that. That also comes out this weekend. But anyways, that's my pitch to you guys if that wasn't on your radar at all and you're interested in checking out a nice little action movie. But of course, we have that Disclosure Day. We're going to have more box office updates, seeing where everything is falling, Masters of the Universe, Disclosure Day, Backrooms, Mando, all of those things are very important. We'll be talking about that next week, as well as getting Rotten Tomatoes scores for Disclosure Day to see if I can continue my so far very successful streak for that draft this year. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you want Aiden to read it out next week. Otherwise, this has been the Words from the Nerds podcast, and we will see you all next time. Sayonara.
Yes.